What?
Oh, she's there.
Can't see her.
You can see the top of her head.
Well, let's
Hey,
see.
we-
Scroll over.
We're
Oh
live.
yeah, Diane, you up there you are. Kinda. I'm seeing.
I don't know. All of a
something.
sudden the screen
Oh,
changed to completely something else.
We
We're
can see
seeing
your
the
voice.
crown of your head. That's all we're seeing,
Shall I-
and it stopped.
Ray,
Not moving.
Ray,
Let me
Yes.
turn it off and start again. I don't know why. The telephone's just lying there. I didn't touch it. I'll do that, okay?
Okay.
There's Matt.
John, did you have
Matt.
something to say? Oh, and is that? Oh, that's Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, we're gonna send you away for a little while, okay?
Okay, you want me to, yeah, send me off.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, we're just gonna do our preliminary stuff, and then we'll pull you up when your turn is up. Okay?
Okay, I'll be standing
All right.
by.
There's Yabba Dabba Doo.
Oh, here's Abby. Okay, great. Hi, Abby.
She's on mute.
Now, where are we with Diane? She was gonna hang up and try back.
She's back.
She is back.
I'm right here.
Okay, great. All right. then
Here I
that-
am.
I think we have everybody. Do we have Jesse at this point?
I don't see him.
No. Okay. Well, we're gonna
I'll
start.
text him and see if he was Sports Cave.
Oh.
No, I think that was Doug Mills.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I,
Yeah,
I,
I think he has two. I don't know. I think he's working out for two different ones.
All right, everyone. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Everybody ready? Okay, good.
Ray,
I'm going.
Ray,
Yes.
turn my phone off.
Turn your phone off, John. We're
not
totally
speaking.
on computer now. Yeah.
Okay, it's off. All right, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So once again, I'm going to be reading a script for these remotely conducted meetings. So as a preliminary matter, this is Ray Pohl, Chairman of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. So members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Diane Coombs.
Aye.
Aye, good.
Yes.
Val Oliver.
Aye.
Very good. John McLaughlin.
Hi,
Great. Abby Camp.
Aye. Here.
Okay. TJ Watterson.
Present.
Thank you. Stephen Welch.
Also present.
Very good. And I'm going to try Jesse, but I don't think I'm going to get a present on that one. No. Okay. And then again, this is Ray Pohl. I'm clearly present, partially so. So staff, again, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Kathy Flynn.
Affirmative.
Thank you. Holly Backus.
Affirmative.
Very good. Now, again, our anticipated speakers, I'm not going to call their names out yet. They're waiting in the queue, and when their application comes up, it will be clear. We'll get their names for the record. So now on with the rest. Good afternoon. Again, when I call your name, please respond in the
Oh,
affirmative.
somebody's got
Affirmative. Their audio on.
Holly Backus.
affirmative.
Does somebody have the YouTube on in the background?
That's what that is.
music?
No, YouTube on the background of another computer because we're hearing an echo.
Oh, it's a playback.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can watch it and mute it.
Doesn't sound like we have it anymore. That's good.
Okay.
Okay, moving right along. Good afternoon. This open meeting of the Nantucket Historic District Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. And as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials along with this meeting allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting, the Nantucket Historic District Commission is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. For Zoom meetings, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Meeting materials. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. Ground rules. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, I will go down the list of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your telephone or computer when you are not speaking, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. And that's it. There's for public comment item, but I don't believe we're going to be dealing with that right at the moment. So with that, I believe that we can, Kathy, I'm sorry, you're going to need to refresh my memory again. Public comment, in this case, we basically pause for a little while to see whether anything is coming in via email, correct?
Yes,
And
and
if
Holly will be checking that.
Okay, so it's right for me to just pause for a little while,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
And while Holly's waiting on any public comment, I'm just gonna make sure, I'm assuming that everyone has a copy of our agenda tonight. Is there anyone listening in who does not have a copy of the agenda and needs one?
Mr. Chair, if I may, I did amend the agenda this
Yes.
evening. I don't know if you all got that or not.
I did.
Was it with the consents and all that?
I'm sorry.
Was it the email with the consents and the views and all that?
No, I amended the agenda this morning and I sent you all a link around 10.
Okay.
So I can display it if you'd like.
The agenda?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, actually,
Or
that would,
what's different? Yeah.
I removed 7 White Street. They were a 60-day denial and he withdrew his application. So
Oh,
that's
Good.
what's different. Okay.
Mhm.
okay.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, we have no comments, just that Terry is doing her job and listening to us.
oh, fabulous. Hello,
Hi,
Terry.
Gary.
How you doing?
Terry
So,
may disagree that her job is to listen to us.
You know
Terry,
what
I hope
meant.
you're well.
She's helping
Yeah.
us out like she always does. Thank you,
Yes.
Terry.
okay, so to Diane Coombs's point, just for the purpose, I think, of consent and consent with conditions, we could probably post the meeting agenda on our Zoom. After that, we're probably going to need to have the actual applications go up on the screen, and I'm not sure there's room for both. So now we're moving on to, okay, so there was no public comment, just clear for the record. Now we are moving along to item 2, which is the consent agenda. And I'm looking the consent agenda over, and I know for sure that I need to recuse And I'm looking to see whether, is there anyone else on the list of members and associates who needs to recuse? I don't believe so.
No,
So Abby, would you mind, oh no, Diane, would you mind sharing the consent agenda, and you can pull in one alternate to fill my spot?
Right. TJ, do you want to join us?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any problems with the agenda at this moment?
Yes,
I took a look at the agenda. I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Consent agenda,
Already. The consent agenda,
right.
Yes,
already. Numbers 1 through, which one?
11.
11. All those in favor say
Oh,
aye.
Diane,
I
sorry,
had a comment.
point of order.
What?
Diane, what you're gonna need to do is you're
Yeah.
gonna need to call each board member's name and just have
Oh.
them register their vote. That's all.
Yep.
Just-
Yep. I forgot.
That's okay.
Johnny McLaughlin,
I had a comment, one, on the consent.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a question on it. It was right here. No, it's on new business, right? I will wait to look at the new business. Thank you.
Okay. What are you going to vote on the agenda? Johnny,
Yes. What's the
what are you
question?
going to vote on the agenda? I have to know what you're going to vote.
the consent agenda.
Hey, John. John,
Yeah, did somebody make a motion to approve it?
We have a motion on the floor to approval, but I have to get you to individually say you want to agree, you want to disagree, or you want to hold yourself off.
What number of consent are we on?
We're on 1 through 11, the whole consent agenda.
For all of them, you should vote for all of them, right?
Yeah.
This is a vote for all the consents?
Yeah,
Yes, it's a consent of all of them.
And the consent, yes, I have no,
All right,
no problem.
thank you. Valerie,
Val Oliver votes aye.
alrighty, and TJ
TJ's aye.
Waterman, awesome. And Abby,
aye.
alrighty, and
How about the
so
chair?
that makes me, oh yes. God. And I vote yes also, so that is all of us, all 5.
All right.
Very good.
Great.
Thank you, Diane. The next one is
Okay.
consent. Oh, we good? Good?
Yep.
Okay. Item 3, consent with conditions. I don't think we need any recusals on this, so this will be the regular board. If there's no discussion, might I have a motion to approve items numbers 1 through 4 on consent with conditions?
So moved.
Who made that motion?
Abby made that
okay.
motion.
Very good. John, did you have a question?
Yes, we're on consents with, right?
Consent with conditions is what we're on right now.
Conditions.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So Abby has made a motion to approve. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to poll the board on this one. So Abby,
I approve the consent with agenda. I'm in favor.
thank you. Val,
I also approve the consent with conditions.
fantastic. Diane? Diane?
I approve the
All
consent
right,
agenda.
fantastic. John?
Yes, aye.
All right. And the chair votes in favor. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all. Okay, so item number 4 is some old business items that were carried over from last week. The first item, and now, Andrew, we can pull in Matt McEachern. He is the applicant.
It's coming in right now.
Okay. And if you are all looking at your agendas, I'm just going to review the board that's sitting on this application. So it's myself, Diane Coombs, Abby Camp, Stephen Welch, and Jesse Dutra, who is not with us at the moment. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people sitting on this application. Now, if Matt is on,
Yep.
Looking.
are you on, Matt?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear, I can hear you.
I'm trying to find my screen now. Bear with me.
Now, I'm going to review where this was because Matt was unable to join us the last time it was heard. It was heard briefly and some comments were made at that time. And if I'm missing anything, I hope that you guys will chime in. But the things that I recall were Stephen Welch noted that the last time that this was heard, the time before last, a request was made, perhaps by Stephen, that we saw a rendering because the colors weren't completely typical and within the palette that we ordinarily approve. So we were looking for that. I remember Abby said something to the effect of, well, most inns in that neighborhood have white trim. Anything else that I'm missing? Oh, we have some meeting minutes here.
Yeah, those are the minutes from,
Well, those are the penultimate ones because that shows Matt McEachern is attending.
yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah.
Hold up here.
Those were from the February 18th meeting. The next meeting they attended, there was no quorum. And then the 17th was canceled. So the last discussion was on the 18th of February.
Well, that's actually not true.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
really?
discussed it.
Yeah, it was reviewed last week.
Oh, yes, you're right. I don't have
Yeah.
that on there. I apologize.
Now, whether that shows up in the minutes, I'm going on my recollection, which was, we sort of should have had Matt on board because I kind of thought that Matt had made the changes that the board had requested, and that was an error. So,
Mr.
listen,
Chairman,
yes, Stephen.
if I may. So the motion, I believe at the last meeting was to hold for additional information, including a color rendering if moccasin was going to be the clapboard.
Right, correct. So now, if everything's like working the way it should be, we should have Matt McEachern on, who will now bring us up to speed on the current state of the presentation.
Sure. So can everybody hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and apologies for missing the previous meeting there. That was my fault.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, the way we left it, we basically, can you hear me?
Yes.
So yeah, we basically, I thought that we had made all the changes that everyone had requested. I guess is there still some concern about the moccasin as far as the clapboard color? The moccasin is like a kind of a beige color. Again, if that is what's holding, if the board members still have apprehensions of that, it would be great I could just omit that from the application and keep the existing color. The moccasin.
Now, refresh my memory, Matt. The moccasin was for the clapboard?
Yeah, there's clapboard on just the first floor underneath the porch.
Understood. And we just had a picture. There it is right there. So it looks to me like currently there's a very, very subtle off-white color on the clapboard. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So what you're suggesting is that if there's any issue with the moccasin as a color, that you would retreat from that and just go with what you have on the building currently.
Yeah, or if there's any other suggestions or recommendations, I mean, I think the thought with the moccasin is that it's kind of a muted tone. It's very similar to the sand tone, Anderson window color. So it's a pretty familiar color. It's called moccasins. That's just the name of it. But I think, with the gray sash and the gray trim, I think that it could complement it well. But in the interest of just kind of moving the project forward. And then the other thing is these are all photographs. Thank you, Kathy, for screening through these. Just in the core district, the number of structures, some are in, some are not, in the core district that have gray trim, with also clapboard colors that are, similar, if you will.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Kathy, if you're able, I'd like to go back to the shot actually of the building that's under discussion, the Century House. Because what's on the table, and Matt, correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is the building and your proposal, which we can sort of catch down in the lower left-hand corner there. It says the clapboard, you're proposing moccasin, but you're willing to go with the color that's there now. Roof natural, trim Quaker gray, sash Quaker gray. Front door is sort of raisin tort, which I've seen is kind of like a deep burgundy red sort of color. There it is. And if we could go back, now let me see. All right, Quaker gray. So most of the fence, the railings, blah, 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 that's all Quaker gray. So if all of the board members that are sitting on this application understand the proposal or have any questions, that's all fine. And I would also invite your opinions about this proposal as modified.
Ray,
Yes.
I have a question. On
Yes.
10 Cliff Road, I'm trying to follow this.
Yeah.
Clapboard is moccasin.
The clapboard color is proposed as moccasin, John. But now, John, I'm going to point one thing out for you, okay? This is an old business item, and you're not sitting on this particular item. The board on this one, to reiterate, is myself, Diane Coombs, Abby Camp, and Stephen Welch. Those are the 4 board members that are sitting on this application. So John, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to, entertain your questions. But I'm also looking to hear from the board members that will be voting on this. So should I poll the board? How about I'm going to pick a victim here. I'm going to pick Diane as my first victim.
Ray, I still have a question.
Oh, yes, please, John, go ahead.
I'm going down to colors on the left.
Yes,
Right.
that's
What
right.
is raisin tort? Yeah, actually, I don't.
Oh.
We don't have the samples here to look at it.
Well, okay, John. Kathy, could you show John again what the raisin tort looks like? John, the raisin tort is sort of like a
Cottage red.
Nantucket red sort of color, and that's going on the front door.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
the moccasin
that's the
and the
color.
raisin tort.
Yes, those are the colors. Okay.
Yeah, how do I go back to that shot again?
Well, that's up to Diane. Diane is the one who's in charge of keeping the different pictures up on the screen.
Kathy.
Okay. Did I say Diane?
You
Yes.
did.
How about
Yes,
down
you
here?
did. Huh?
No,
Huh?
because I'm still
No,
waiting
never
for
mind, Diane.
Diane's comments, but Kathy is the one in charge of keeping the stuff up on the screen. Okay, so
Oh,
Diane Coombs.
all right.
All right.
All right. Looking presentation and the moccasin, which I don't mind, and the raisin, I don't mind, but I would rather see the trim kept white than go into the gray, unless it was a very light gray.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. Thank you. And I'm going to jump over to Abby now.
I like it the way it is. I
Bless you.
don't mind the deck being Quaker gray. The foundation, are they talking about the trellis work? What
Matt?
do they mean by foundation?
Yeah, the railing would be, you talking about the railing?
I thought it
No.
said, I can't see it anymore, Kathy, if you,
Oh, I'm sorry.
oh, there, okay. So
Right,
it
I
says
can't see it.
foundation Quaker
There you go.
gray.
Matt?
Yeah, I think that might be, I think it's, oh, the lattice work underneath the deck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
Right.
Yeah, that would be great.
I prefer everything to stay the way it is, except for the trellis work could be Quaker gray and the deck could be Quaker gray. Otherwise, I like it the way it is.
Okay, thank you, Abby. Stephen?
I agree with Abby, and the alternative, I think everything but the moccasin is acceptable and appropriate. If the moccasin were to be used, I want to see, once again, a color rendering.
If I could, Mr. Chair, I just chimed in with the client there again, and they're completely fine keeping the clapboard the color it is, so we can withdraw the moccasin from the application.
Okay, so
Okay.
just so you know, Matt, you have 3 of your 4 board members who have basically said that they would prefer to keep the white trim, which I think is the, really the largest component of this application, keeping things white. So whether it sounds like gray trim on the lattice work underneath is fine. Gray on the deck itself, fine. Question about what color the clapboard is, but the overarching view of the 3 board members, I'm not certain, by the way, that I agree. Like I could see a building going to gray. I painted my own house from white to gray. It's, we're getting down to a taste issue. However, you do have a majority of members that are, sounds like are against the idea of changing the trim from white to Quaker gray.
Could I,
Abby, go. Oh, Abby's muted at this moment, at the time.
Oh, let me unmute her.
Sorry, Abby, we didn't hear what you just said. It sounded like you were about to say something.
the front porch, the railing and the columns,
Yeah.
are those proposed as Quaker gray or white?
Quaker
Gray.
gray.
Okay, yeah, that I'm opposed to that as well. I just think it's going to be a little gloom and doom.
Okay.
Now, wait, just so that Matt can leave this conversation with some direction for his applicant, okay? One of you, I think it may have been Diane, said that if it was going to go to gray, that it would go to a light gray. Was that you, Diane?
Yeah, I said, but if they are willing to leave it white, I think this particular building looks better with the white and stuff that it has now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So it doesn't sound like there's going to be a huge amount of latitude in terms of getting your gray.
Okay.
So listen,
Yeah.
we could approve this, but I mean, what we'd be approving is essentially a color change on the front door.
Yeah.
Maybe a color change on the clapboard, although it sounds like probably not. And gray on the lattice underneath the porch and gray on the decking of the porch. So
Yeah, I mean, I think.
do you want that?
I hate to drag this out further, but I thought that we were going to be able to get the gray, maybe we'll get rid of the moccasin. So the fact that we're going to have to keep the white trim, I think it may. I just want to get some feedback from the client. They're probably going to,
I think you should.
For quite a bit. But, So is it possible that it'll be heard again next week?
What do you think, Kathy? I don't know the protocol. Oh, Kath,
Yes, sorry. Yeah, so that's fine. I can put it on.
okay. So Matt's going to consult with his client and see, based on this feedback, which direction he's going to take. So can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion to hold for,
To hold. for
Yeah.
Thank you. That's sufficient. Thank you, Abby. Abby's made a motion to hold. I'm going to poll the board. Abby,
Ray,
hang on, John, 1 second.
go ahead.
Abby, in favor?
of holding it,
motion?
yes.
Of course you are, yes. Diane? Is Diane
In
muted?
favor of holding.
Correct, yeah, so you're in favor of the motion. Stephen?
Yes.
Okay, and the chair is in favor of. So that motion carries unanimously. But before I close, John, did you have a question relating to this
I
application?
had a comment, yes,
Yes,
looking at the sample and looking at the building,
yes.
since when I was born, that building was all white, still is.
Well, guess
Huh?
what, John? There's not a lot of support for changing the trim of this building to gray. So Matt's going to go back and he's going to talk to his client and see what he can do, probably working with the white trim the way it is.
Can I just,
My question is it only clapboarded on the first floor or both floors?
Only on the first floor.
My question, I don't think that moccasin is gonna stand out. Just the clapboard being that and all the rest white. It's
Well,
gonna stand out.
John, just so you know, that he's going to go back, he being Matt McEachern, is going to go back and talk to his client and come up with a different color palette based on what we've told him. Okay?
Hand it back.
What?
What
What
do
was
you
that,
do
John?
with this? Is there a motion?
Yes. The motion actually carried. The motion carried that he's going to go back and talk to his client and come back to us with some revised colors.
But John's also not on it.
I know, I
You're
understand.
gonna hold this one, right?
Yes.
Okay,
So
thank you.
that's that.
I know.
I believe that, okay, so Matt, you've got another application up.
yes,
And Diane, you are the chair of this
Yes,
application.
Okay, I gotta find it here.
okay.
Hey, I gotta find it here first, sorry. Where am I? Ah. Oops, sorry, guys.
Hey, not to add further to this, but I just got a text from Jesse Dutra who says he's waiting to get invited.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he's out there.
Yeah, let me just open up Matt's first.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, that's good, because I thought I wasn't gonna have a quorum again.
Okay, so here's Matt's.
Well, you're going to.
Just, how do I find Jesse? How do I don't know how to find Jesse.
You know, it's funny because the thing that you sent me, I just hit it. I was on. I didn't need to get invited.
Yeah, I just can't get back to the screen because I'm sharing.
Kathy, you may have to unshare for a second. and then
Okay.
Oh.
Am I? Okay, so I do stop share
Yes,
or pause.
I would stop share.
Okay, stop. And then go over. No, how do I scroll up to grab? I'm already showing 3, but Jess, oh, never mind. Where is Jesse? I don't have Jesse, and I have Sports Cave, Ben Norman, Jody Newman, Myra, and Doug. I can't see Jesse.
There's a phone number. Could that be Jesse, the phone number?
No, that's Steve Thoreau. He's calling in. And I 8257. Sorry about this, guys.
All right. It's new world.
I know.
It's good to see everyone's face, though. Been a while.
Yeah, I know. Let me see. Do you want, why don't I click on that
Hey,
phone?
Kathy,
Yeah,
through you, Mr. Chair. If you want, I can, well, Kathy's trying to get him on. Jesse's not on this one. I can just share the 12 Lincoln through my screen so we could proceed with this application.
oh, thank you.
Wow, what a fabulous idea.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Diane, what that means for you is that you're able to proceed with the review of 12 Lincoln. And as you can probably, Diane, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So Diane, you have the material in front of you for this application, and your board, of course, is John, Abby, and Val.
Okay,
Okay.
so, and Matt, do you want to tell us what you've
Sure.
done?
Yeah, sure. So at the last meeting, you had requested that we maintain the facade, all the fenestration on the facade to be true divided light windows, and the remaining windows could be SDLs. And so that is what this reflects. One other thing, if you scroll down to the front elevation, we actually proposed, that one right there is perfect. You'll notice that we are adding two windows on the first floor, and they're between the two existing windows, and that was specified as new, but we can actually recycle other windows from the house, so that all of the windows on the facade would be SDLs. I'm sorry, TDLs. So that was the request, to make them all TDLs. And then one other thing is that window that is clouded, that says that it's tempered, we can actually change the door swing, and so that does not need to be tempered. So essentially all the windows and doors on the facade would be true divided light windows. The remaining windows everywhere else would be SDL. And I believe that's what the board requested.
Okay, and on your number 2 page, which is the east elevation, those are new windows?
Yes, yeah. Same size, same detail, everything, just they're SDLs.
Okay. Okay, so. Well,
Diane,
I'll
I'd like to
start
make a motion to approve.
Okay. I got, who else is you, me, and
Me,
John
John.
and Abby, right?
no, I think I'm on it.
Yes.
Yeah, I said you,
Okay,
so.
I'm good with this, Matt. Thank you.
You got it.
Okay, say your name.
Val Oliver.
Well, can I, hold on, point of order, just for a second. We haven't heard from John.
Okay,
So before you actually go to the roll call, I want to make sure if he has something that he wants to say, I think that it would be worth,
I'm sorry.
thanks.
Okay. John McLaughlin, have you got something you would like to say about this
Yeah, well,
application?
2, 4, 6, is this for 10 windows only? I'm
Uh,
trying to see on the plan.
yeah,
I can't see the top plan. Okay, right, that's 11, a little bit more.
9, 10.
Okay. Oh, that's existing, okay. 2, 4, 6, 8,
I think
10.
it's 10. Oh, no, more than, way more than 10.
Or, what happened there? They were together, now they're not. The windows. Number 2,
4, 6, 8, 10.
bottom left.
Matt,
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
2,
lot more than 10 windows, right?
yeah, sorry, I think I was just
It's
looking.
got to be every bit of 20 or maybe more.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the two gable ends of that
Yeah.
mass.
Well, my question raised, why are they why are they in red?
Well, because
They're not being used. They're red. See, I don't have any way of moving this to see the rest of it.
Mhm.
John, what would you like to see?
What is it? It's hard to read this. This is
Hey, John?
it's awful small. I can't see it. And my eyes are bad till I gotta wait till it gets over this crazy, what do you call it? Sickness. The sickness, I can't go to the eye doctor.
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble. Where it says, she got number 1 there, proposed north. I don't know the scale underneath of it. You can't see it. It's too small.
You could zoom in. It should be quarter scale, John.
It is.
Whoa, but you're looking at a screen, it could be any scale.
I think it's going to be troublesome in the future, but we're just new at it. But okay, but if you look at if somebody took this out, if this was approved, and somebody took this out of the file a month from now, they would find this how many windows were approved, and you count the windows.
Yeah, they would be the ones that are clouded.
Okay, so I'm going to make a quick count. There's 10 on those 2 elevations. Now, Stephen, if you scroll up a little bit here. So there's 10 here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 windows. 23 windows total are going to true divided light from simulated divided light,
I thought, okay.
right?
I thought it was just the front facade.
Just the front facade is staying.
Oh, okay. Well, Matt, I'm sorry. It's 23 windows that are clouded. That much I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And those 23 windows, John, are the ones that we want to use SDL.
See, I can't. But while another member's talking, and I want to go look at it, my mouse does not move anything on that screen. Am I right?
Right.
I think that's correct.
If you're talking about number 1 and I'm looking at number 2, I can't go back to number 1 till you change it. Am I right?
Yeah, you could ask, I think, Kathy, whoever's driving, to tell, if you want to see something in greater detail, I think that they have the ability to zoom in. So if you wanted to look at, for example, drawing 1 on this page, whoever's driving could zoom in.
Stephen Welch is the one who's controlling the screen right now.
So, Mr. Chair, may I just quickly, as a point of information, John, if you want to view an application while someone else is talking and the screen is being run for the group view, you need to, in a separate window, open and download the particular application, which I can show you how to do offline. In the meantime, if you have a particular elevation you want to look at closely, tell me which one and I'll zoom in. And if I'm yelling, it's because I know your hearing aids aren't working.
Actually, before we started it, I just want to say I could either pick them up on Friday before 5 or Monday. I could pick. They sent them to me, in an email. Am I right?
You were.
Yes, okay. At home, I could open it up and move it around with my mouse to look at all 4 elevations. I can't do anything. Right now,
John, we can still do that, and I can show you how to do that offline for future meetings. In this particular application, is there an elevation you want to look at more closely?
No, I'm for it. I'll make a motion to approve those 20-something windows. But I'm just saying it's difficult for me, all right?
Hey, John, just a point of order.
Yeah.
A motion has been made. I believe that Abby made the motion. Am I
Okay.
correct?
What was the motion?
To approve.
Oh, okay, no problem.
To approve.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Diane, I'm sorry, you can probably continue with the roll call.
Okay, John, can I have you say aye or nay?
Aye.
To approve? Aye, thank you. Val,
Al Oliver says aye to the front facade being true divided light with the rest of the windows changing to SDL.
All right. Abby Kemp.
Abby says aye.
All right. And I say aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously.
Right.
All right, nice
Thank you.
seeing you, Matt. We're all
See you.
set with you.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye.
Hi, Matt.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we need to get Val Oliver up on the screen right now. Just kidding. I see you.
Okay.
Only if Jesse was here.
Yeah, so now did we get Jesse in?
hang on.
I'll make a motion to hold 17 Broadway for quorum.
Hang on.
Well, Stephen, I don't know whether you were in on this, but Jesse was trying to get in.
There's somebody Shanty Light Share. Is that Jesse?
You know what? Let's just do what Steven said. When he can get on, then I'll zip back in.
Did anybody have his number to text him?
I do.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him in the participants window at this point.
Here,
Do
Yeah,
you, Ray?
I have his number, yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have, Andrew, are you still around?
Yes.
Okay. I sent him your number last time. Can I just send him your number again?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. All right, call Andrew, number above.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And we'll see if we can get him on. Okay. All right, listen, we're going to hold that until we get Jesse aboard. But in the meantime, let's move on now to number 5 on our agenda, which is new business. Our first application is for 63 Westchester Street, a fence, gate, and arbor. And the agent in this case is Dennis Galvin. Do we have anybody?
I don't see, unless he's Shanty Light Share, I don't know who that is.
I actually have Dennis's number too. I should just call him.
Okay.
All right, hold on a second here.
Ray, what happened to Prickly Pear?
Pretty
You're holding that?
sure- Oh, John, we're just waiting to get Jesse Dutron because Val needs a quorum and
Oh, okay.
she needs to have Jesse on for the quorum, okay?
I make notes as we go on each application. I always have. That's
What's
why
that?
I always have a copy of the agenda.
Yes.
I make my notes on the agenda, who voted or whatever. I keep a record of that. That's right. That's why I try to get the agenda before the meeting.
It's Ray Paul. I'm good. Are you trying to get on to the Zoom meeting for your HEC application? Your 63 Westchester Street. Well, interestingly enough, it's being heard now. What I think that we're going to do, Dennis, is we're going to pass over it so that you can have a chance to participate. All right. Listen, here's. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to call you back tomorrow, okay, and just tell you what needs to be done. Yeah, and then you can participate and explain everything to us. But so we'll have you on for next week, okay? All right. Well, but I don't want to move forward in case there's any questions, because we tend to get snagged up if there's questions.
The picture is the wrong house. That's the only issue.
Val.
The wrong
Val is
house,
telling me that the
everything he
picture
wants is
submitted the
fine
wrong
if it's
house.
natural to
So
weather.
there's question number 1. So Dennis, I'm going to call you tomorrow, okay? And we'll have you on for next Tuesday. No, I know that. But listen, I'm in the middle of a meeting right now, so I'll call you back tomorrow. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Okay. So you all heard that.
Yeah.
That was Dennis, who had no idea he was supposed to be on Zoom. So we'll hear him at a later date.
If he just has a picture of the right house, it should be fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you, though, because I wouldn't have known what to tell him. All right. So Kathy, you will tell me when we finally get Jesse on. But in the meantime, let's move right along to now the second new business application, which is for NIR, 2 Straight Wharf. And TJ, I believe, is going to be representing this one.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, oh, and PS, we have 5 regular members. So this is our 5-member board. New application.
Okay, so let me go back. Okay, 2 Straight Wharf. There we go. Everybody can see that?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Like being on the Jetsons.
Sweet.
Stressing over here.
A lot to handle.
Okay.
Hey, TJ.
Yes, sir.
While Kathy's getting that up on the board here, you want to just sort of give us an overview? It looks like you're looking for an awning.
This is a, I believe it is a vinyl. No, it's a black, a dark blue, nearly black awning with stainless tubing structure. It's on the north side, the still dock side of 2 Straight Wharf. So it's just right off Easy Street as you go under down to the gap, the gazebo where you get the mudslides there.
Yes.
So this is on the back side of the building.
The back side.
Yeah, this is a bit of an overhang for loading merchandise and so forth. A little addendum to the plan you're seeing now is I resubmitted a different version, which is only 24 foot long. So it would go from the same starting point on the left where the double doors are, 24 feet over. So it would be end right after the electrical meters.
Oh.
So it won't go the full length. It'll end right at that middle window there on the center dormer.
Right. Yeah.
And it's purely utilitarian. It's for deliveries and to keep deliveries dry in the meantime, while before loading into the in-house.
So I'm just curious about something. It's kind of not germane to the HCC, but from your detail, it looks like the water is going to cascade down the roof and kind of go under the awning anyway.
It's a 4-foot projection, which means that, I think it fairly enough, gives you some cover, if you see what I mean, because it projects far enough off of the face wall of the building.
Well, it's basically going to cover the sidewalk and the curb, right?
Yes, Chairman.
Okay. All right.
Can I ask him a question?
You certainly can, Diane. You can be the first person to speak on this application.
TJ, is this at the beginning of Easy Street, right at the corner of
Yes, ma'am.
the end of the old 5 and 10?
It's right across from that current vintage. I think that's what you're talking about, being the 5 and 10, but I don't know. I'm not sure that I would know that because, I'm not sure if that's the
Well, I
same
know that.
establishment.
It's at the corner of Still Dock and Easy Street, sort of.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yeah. Yes. Kathy?
Yes.
There was a site plan locus that you passed over. You might want to just scroll down so everybody's totally clear on where this is. I'm pretty sure I know. There you go, right there. Okay. So everybody,
is this,
go ahead, Diane.
it's not germane to particularly the HDC, but that's a busy corner. And if they're going to use it for loading, is that a good place to have a truck unload?
Well, that's typically the procedure on Still Dock. I mean, you've got all the businesses that face into Straight Wharf. they all take, that's the business end of Straight Wharf, in other words. It's all the deliveries take place.
Yeah, no,
The Cisco food trucks and the merchandising trucks. So it kind of needs to be that way as, you know, a function of traffic flow and pedestrian flow.
okay. I just don't think it's a very good place to try and unload, but because Still Dock's gonna be full. But anyway, I see nothing architecturally wrong with it.
Is the color okay? It's called Admiral Blue. It's just a really deep blue.
Yeah.
I have a question.
You can
is
be
that-
next up. Thank you, Diane. Thank you for your comments. If you have any more, I'll get back to you. Val, go.
TJ, does
Yeah.
that color tie into anything on the front of the structure? You know, the Vineyard Vines storefront?
You know, not necessarily, but it is one of the branded colors for Vineyard Vines. I don't actually remember exactly what their sign looks like, but I think it does include that deep blue color.
Okay, and then my second question is it something that will be cranked out and cranked back in periodically, you know, like?
That is a good question, and I believe the answer is no. I think it's a permanent structure, which they'll probably winterize by taking it down,
Okay,
at least the canvas part of it.
okay.
So yeah, I don't think it actually stays up the canvas year round.
Okay, so individually, or significantly, I don't have a problem with it. Is this a precedent? I don't think there are any other buildings that have something like this in that area or town per se that's not on the front of a facade.
The only ones I can consider to be precedent would be the bake shop, bakery on Petticoat Row on Center Street, and I think the insurance company used to have one possibly, or Hingham Bank, one of the two.
Okay, those are both fronts though.
On the front, yeah.
But I do appreciate your proposing the abbreviated version, so since it's temporary and will be taken down, as you said, in the off season.
I'm not 100% sure on that point, to be sure. I'd have to
Oh.
check back with the applicants,
Okay.
but I think that it's a seasonal.
If
I wouldn't want to say that.
simple, you know, seasonal thing, I'm perfectly fine with it, the abbreviated version.
Okay.
If it's seasonal.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so on that point, just to be clear, so this has a metal framework. And in most cases like this, and I'm thinking of the boarding house right at the moment, you know, they don't like leaving these awnings out all year because they get totally beat up in the wintertime. So what they do is they take the fabric part of it off, stow it away, but you still see the metal frame. So are you okay with that part of it, Val? Like the frame staying up, I guess.
Yeah, I think I am, because I get it. If it's a inclement day and they're getting, you know, all this product, they want to just shield it a little bit from the truck to the building. So again, I'll say the abbreviated version, TJ, thank you, is more appealing to me because it's off of Easy Street. It's farther down Still Dock. I think it's fine.
Thank you, Val. John,
Ray?
your turn, John.
All right, I'm getting a little lost, all right? I could ask a
Okay.
question.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Number one is Donald Torrey. What happened to that?
Oh, the applicant, I called up the applicant. He had no idea that he was supposed to be on a Zoom meeting. So I'm going to talk to him tomorrow and we'll review that hopefully next Tuesday. So we've passed that one, John, and we're actually on to item number 2 on new business, which is this awning that you see on your screen.
Oh, okay, it's hard for me, both my hearing aids are broken. That's
Oh,
the trouble.
that's
That's-
unfortunate.
On the photo, showing, looking at the wall.
Yes.
Go to that. No, Donald Terry is for to hold for tomorrow, right?
Donald Torrey, the item number 1, we're holding until next, is it Tuesday, Kathy? I kind of lost track.
No, it's next Monday, the 11th.
Monday, next Monday.
All right, number 2,
Yes.
that's, Bannock, whatever, 2 straight wall. Can you
Yeah.
bring that picture up right there? All right,
There it is.
now it says it's aluminum. Is there a roof on there that's aluminum?
No, John. So see those little metal things right underneath of the roof, the dark blue roof?
Right,
Those little things are an aluminum frame that hold that roof up.
okay. Now my question is, if there's aluminum, that's fine. But how about the ends? What's on the ends? Is it gonna be just a sheet of aluminum up there?
No. More fabric. TJ, I bet you didn't do a view of the side, did you?
You know, I did not, but I am under the understanding, as these things you typically do, that the cheeks of the roof, the sides will come with canvas fabric.
It would only make sense.
The cheeks are aluminum?
No,
No,
fabric.
Mhm.
and tell him the part about it being cut back.
Yes.
And also, John, this is not going to be 32 feet long, but it's going to be 24 foot long, 2/3 the length. So on the right side, it'll end at the middle window of the dormer.
Could they be shingled? The same as the sidewall?
As an efficiency matter, they're trying to do this as more of a temporary and canvas feature to mitigate costs.
Thank you.
Okay, John, thank you. Okay, now Abby, where's Abby?
I
Hi,
think it's
Abby.
sharp looking. I'm going to go for it.
All right. So I'm fine with this. I think that the discussion was good. Oh, just by the way, Diane, interestingly about
Yes.
the traffic issue that you raised, I think that the traffic issue is going to happen regardless of the awning. You know, that traffic issue is like, it's not going to happen because there's an awning there. It's going to keep going. It's just that whoever is creating the traffic won't get wet. That's what it boils down to. So, you know, I agree with you. It's a very crowded intersection, but I don't think that putting the awning up is going to make it any more so. So, having said that, I'm interested in hearing if anyone is interested in moving forward with a motion of some.
I will.
All right.
Val Oliver making the motion.
Yes.
I would motion to approve this awning as abbreviated by the applicant to 24 feet just beyond the electric panels so that it's off of Easy Street. And that's my motion.
Okay. I'm going to poll the board. So, Val, how do you feel about this?
I think it's fine
Okay,
as
you're in favor.
as the
You're in favor.
abbreviated version. Yes.
Okay, so Val's in favor. Abby? Abby?
I'm in favor.
Great. Diane? Diane?
I'm in favor also.
Oh, thank you. John?
I'm in favor.
Thank you. And the chair is in favor. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all. Okay, next item. We're on to item number 3, which is 39 Pilgrim Road.
So stand by.
Stand by, we'll get Stephen on board.
Yes. Andrew, are you in the background?
Yes.
So Stephen his number was there. I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, it looks like he left.
Okay, let me just text him. Sorry.
Is Andrew there?
Yes.
Yes.
My picture of the meeting has disappeared off his silly
Oh. Brother.
phone. You were there and I can hear you. but the plans are up. I cannot, I don't know where to find them.
Well, I haven't put the plans up yet. I just got out of the share screen, so maybe that's why. Okay, so we're waiting for Stephen. He's texting me right now. He's on his way.
On his way to get on the screen?
He's on his way to call in,
Okay.
so. Right, and then Andrew, when I see that number, I'm gonna click on it, right, and admit him.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Ray. Get a picture. Look at that. Yeah. How about that? Huh?
Oh, I need some of that caffeine, John. Thank you. That was good. Nice. I tried calling Jesse. He didn't pick up.
Hmm.
39 Pilgrim Road?
We're waiting for Stephen to call in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Tell him to hurry his ass up.
Or maybe we could just hold it.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, motion to hold until we get Jesse back and Stephen.
Okay, that's great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, so we
Aye.
are going to move along to item number 4.
Did John
2000
understand?
Ben Norman?
Yes. Do we have Ben?
Yes, we do.
Very
He's
good.
on
Let's
it.
go.
Ben's on it.
Okay, what was the vote on that, Ray, that last one?
Okay, John, so we voted unanimously in favor of number 2. That was the awning. And we just skipped over number 3. We're waiting for a call in on that. And now we're on to number 4.
We approved number 3.
No, we skipped it
Gonna hold it.
just for a little while.
Okay. And number
Okay.
4 we're on.
Ben, are you there?
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Let's rock.
Okay. I'm having difficulty finding my screen here.
And Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes,
I did review the ones that are in the advisory boards. And that should be
Oh.
included in the applications online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you did. I read them, Holly. Thank you.
Thank
so-
you.
All right, so I think we need to start with that.
Okay.
You know, before we move any further on the application, actually, no. I'm gonna have Ben tell us what he's up to, okay? And then I'm going to either read the advisory comments that Holly created myself, or I'm gonna have some Kathy or Holly read them. Okay? So Ben, you're up at bat. Tell us what you're doing.
So this is on the back of the Oranmore restaurant,
Yes,
and a couple months ago, we had approval for a new balcony and porch. And now we're back in front of you with a handicap ADA compliant ramp and a door, and adding a door,
okay.
ADA compliant door.
Thank you, Ben. Now, Holly,
Yes, sir.
would you have any objections to reading through your comments?
Not at all.
That would be great. Thank you very much. So just Ben, just so that you know, you probably know this well. So the advisory boards can't meet right now because of the Zoom
Yep.
issue. So what we're doing in lieu of that is Holly, who has been looking at this stuff anyway, has been drafting up her own comments that would sort of echo the comments made by the advisory board. So right now, what we're going to do is Holly will read the comments that she's created for this particular application. Okay? Thank you, Holly.
You're
Great.
welcome. Yes, sir. So this structure was circa 1837 per Clay Lancaster. This was moved here from Broad Street, North Water Street in the corner in 1920s. As far as staff's comments, no significant concerns. I did understand that obviously this was revisions to a previous cert. But I'm curious on the visibility from Whalers Lane and for Whalers Lane on the backside. And the existing photos in the previously approved plans were not included as far as I saw, unless I did see it in the application.
Okay,
Other than that, no concerns.
great. Thank you, Holly. Ben, do we have photos of the existing?
I do have them. I mean, I don't know what we have in front of us at the moment.
Okay, let's segue to that portion of our entertainment. So Kathy, what I'd like you to do is now take out Ben's application and just scroll down slowly so we can sort of get an overview.
Okay, so you want to start from the site plan?
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. Is that okay? Do you want it bigger?
I don't see it.
I
Can't
see
see
you.
him
I
right
don't
now.
see any drawings.
Oh, you don't see it? Oh,
I
Nope.
don't.
what happened here? Sorry, guys. What happened to my screen share? Learning curve.
It's okay. It's a learning curve for all of us.
Andrew, where's the screen share?
It should be at the very bottom of your Zoom. If you have Zoom open.
Oh, maybe I don't have it.
Share screen.
Yeah, what the heck? Where did it go?
Stephen Welch.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Support.
Amanda.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, there we go.
Please don't have him bark. I'm on a meeting.
Stephen, are you doing that right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I get, am I got the whole screen or do I have the application up?
You have the
You
application up.
application up right at the moment.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Just when you link in, let me know and I'll switch out.
Okay, so Stephen, would you be, there we go. Let's look at this site plan. Okay, so hopefully all of the board members now have on their screens the site plan that shows the building in question. It shows South Beach Street on the right-hand side and it shows Whalers Lane on the top. To Holly's point, this is sort of nestled into the back of the building.
Right.
A building I believe we're all very familiar with. It's sort of on the back side of the Whaling Museum. So Ben is requesting a ramp, which is bubbled. And did you say an additional door, Ben?
Yep, there's a, if you imagined you went right up the ramp and kept going straight, you'd go
Yeah.
straight into a new door. Yep, there it
Okay.
is.
Yep. Okay, got it. And so Stephen, if you continue scrolling, we'll probably see the elevations. There's the elevations of the ramp. Wow, that's interesting. There used to be a front door there on the back of the building.
Yep, they didn't turn the building around when they moved it.
That's wild.
I remember that from when you came in a
Yep.
while ago for some changes.
Yeah, that's
There's that new
kind of
balcony.
amazing. Yeah. So Ben, couple questions. So all those other railings, are they painted or are they natural or what?
Boy, that's a good question. Let me just pull up the picture of the existing conditions. I believe that they're all painted white.
I think you're right. The building has got white trim.
Yeah, I mean, it's a white trim. Yeah, so yeah, it's all painted white.
Okay, and is it part of your application to have your new ramp balusters painted white?
Yeah, ideally.
Okay. Well, if there's any visibility of this at all, it's just gonna be the tail end of this thing. That used to, over there is where Foley Vaughn and company used to have their law office and their parking lot. So, if you were in their parking lot, you'd sort of catch a glimpse of this thing, but I think the visibility is going to be extremely limited. Anyway, does anyone on the board, this is of course the regular board, does anyone have any questions about this application?
No, I think it's acceptable the way it is.
Okay.
If everything matches the trim that's there, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
I
Val.
agree with Val, Abby.
Okay. Thank you, Abby. Diane? You're good?
Yes, I think we've had this around enough time because at one point I went down and looked and saw that it was tucked in and all that business. So I'm perfectly in favor of it.
Great. Okay. How about you, John? What do you think about the ramp?
I'm lost.
Oh, well,
I don't know. I put the volume so I could hear it,
yeah.
and it come up to my personal
I'm gonna-
meeting again.
Okay.
I do have some small problem with this.
So John,
Yes,
when you're looking at your screen, can you see the ramp can you see the drawing?
What?
okay, this is, I should be catching on to this.
No, it's
Show
okay.
meeting invitation, it says.
I'm on the HTC.
So John, this is the building right at the corner of Whalers Lane and South Water. The one that has a restaurant on the second floor. There's an antique store on the first floor. You know where Foley Vaughn's law office used to be? Right behind the Whaling Museum?
No, this is something, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, just a second. John,
Yeah.
are you on a computer or are you on your tablet?
I'm on the computer.
Okay,
It
hit,
says here, it says,
you can't see the plan?
actually, it's on Zoom.
Can you, just please, can you see the plan, the elevations?
No, I can't see it.
Okay, so what I- John,
John,
John, what I'd like you to do is depress the Alt key and the Tab key and keep the Alt pressed and hit the Tab until you see the elevation and then let go. Alt Tab, Alt Tab. And then you'll see a bunch of little screens will come up and then you'll have an opportunity just to let go of the Tab key and the Alt key when you're on the elevation.
All right, let me see. All right, I'll give you the page. It's Zoom. It says my personal meeting ID was a phone number. And on the right, it has my personal meeting ID PMI, whatever that is.
John,
Yes,
depress the Alt key on your keyboard and then press the Tab key and look at the screen. Keep pressing, keep the Alt key depressed and keep pressing the Tab screen until you get to the elevations. Then let both keys go.
here's something that says Zoom restore.
John,
Yes,
Alt Tab. Can you hear me?
Hey,
no, it's just raised up. You can hear me, but the speaker's up on 100 as far as it'll go.
hey, Stephen.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
No, but I just want to alert you to something.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at my keyboard right now and
Yeah.
there is no Alt key.
He's on a PC. I know that. If you're on a Mac,
Okay.
I
never
can't
mind.
help you.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and call him, but this is silly in a way.
Yeah, sorry.
Sure, you just go ahead with what you're doing. I'll take over this if I can get it. Okay, if not, I'll have to wait. No problem.
John, are you suggesting that we move forward with a vote on this?
No, just don't mention my voting. I'm not voting, so.
Oh, so would you be willing to abstain from this one?
Well, wait a minute. No, I got a thing that says speakers, high definition, up on 100.
Whose phone is ringing?
John's.
Oh,
It says
That's
Zoom on the
Stephen
picture.
calling him.
Yeah.
Tell John to answer his phone, would you?
Let me see if I can post attendee Zoom, whatever that is. No. Let me hit this Zoom and see what we got. That's all. I don't want to hold up the meeting.
Hey, so John, I'm going to ask your indulgence on something. Could you either abstain? Can you abstain from this vote?
Sure, I abstain.
Okay, that would be great, because seriously,
Okay,
this-
I get it, I get it.
okay. All right, so we have 4 in favor. Did I poll the board? I'm sorry.
You can again.
I did. No, I already did. So I was just waiting on John. John has abstained and the chair votes in favor. That means that this motion carries by a vote of 4 in favor, 1 abstention. Okay? So
Yeah.
now,
Chair?
thank you, everyone. Now we
Thanks,
have.
Ben, you're approved.
Oh, yeah, Ben, you're all set to go.
Mr. Chair,
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
arrived.
What?
Jesse is here.
Aye.
Yes, okay. So everyone, we are going, wait a
I'm
second.
here. No problem.
Oh, John, you're back?
No, it hasn't gone there. I just, yeah, okay, I'm back. There you are. I'm looking at you.
Well, okay. So
Yeah, we're all in.
what I'd like to do, because we now have Jesse Dutra with us, is I'd like to return to the 3rd old business item, which is the Prickly Pear Trust.
Good old business.
Old business, John, that we passed over because we were waiting for Jesse to arrive, and Jesse has arrived.
The prickly pear.
Prickly Pear.
Okay.
Right. Now you're on, John, you're on this application. Jesse is on this application, and Stephen is chairing this application. So it's just the 3 of you.
Okay, nothing changed. Okay.
Okay, so now Stephen,
I'll abstain. Yeah.
well, don't abstain just yet,
Yeah, I'm back on it now.
but we need Stephen now.
Okay, great. So Kathy, thank you for pulling that up.
Oh,
And
that's good. Thank you.
once again, so it is myself as chair, John and Jesse. Representing is Val Oliver. Val, can you walk us through the application, any updates, revisions, so on and so forth?
Yes, certainly. I think primarily the largest concern from the advisory boards, Holly, and you guys was the east elevation, and that's because the west elevation is not changing, which is the front that faces Broadway. South elevation, there was some concern about the windows that I had chosen in terms of size, especially the 2nd floor, I believe. So we made those windows all the same size and the smaller size. What I'm trying to get approved, that is something that's a little bit of an anomaly, is where this filled in porch happened. And so what I'm proposing to you now is to sort of change maybe the way it's framed in and the material to sort of allude to the evolution of this porch getting filled in where I had it shingled before. And the biggest concern with those windows, which are on the south and then in the corner on the east, is that they're folding windows. I did send in some pictures, which I'm hoping people had a chance to look at. And this is a perfect example. Kathy, go back, or whoever has it, to the ladder. Those are windows that have primarily been approved in the past on these fill-in things that are just sort of a fixed window that swings up and it latches. In order to eliminate the big swing of a larger window, windows have been proposed now that fold, where the double hung window would have gone up and down. And there was a question about how these windows operated, and I do have a little demonstration of that, but I am not sure I know how to share it on the scene.
Yeah.
for you guys. I'm gonna try.
Val, may I ask a point of question? In the imagery you provided, I think it's a couple more past where Kathy is currently.
Yep,
There are green windows.
yes,
There it is.
yep,
These are the windows you're proposing? Or
yes, and
similar?
this is actually on Nantucket on Pochick Ave. I don't know the exact address, but the company provided me with these pictures. And it's where the window typically would, you know, slide up and down the meeting rail is where they put in the hinge and it folds. Folds in.
Mhm.
And instead of swinging up and latching, they fold in so they take less space. But I do have a little 3D thing if you want to, or a moving thing if you need to see that.
What, if you can share it, why don't you go ahead and we'll.
All right, let me ask my tech support over here, a kid. How do I share this? My nephew, Miles. Hi, Miles.
All
I
right.
want to share that little graphic that I showed you.
The gift.
Miles,
Yeah.
welcome to the HPC.
Yeah. Tech support.
Out, Miles.
This one,
Yes,
this thing.
yes.
Aye.
So that's how they operate. This is how they operate.
I don't think we're.
I think Kathy has to stop sharing so you can share.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't.
Okay,
What's
now
sharing
you
going?
can. There you go. Oh, okay.
So instead of sliding on each other, they fold up.
Oh, my God.
Look at that little animation.
Yeah,
That's
so
really cool.
That's cool.
the fold comes in, not out.
Val, I'm going to interrupt. I'm sorry, but can we confirm, John, can you hear? John McLaughlin? Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
this is the motion of the window Val Oliver is proposing on this application. And it opens, it opens as it's shown in the imagery to the inside.
Correct.
There's bifold windows, yeah.
As opposed to the swing
Yeah.
up and latch just to save space.
This might be the first one that has the bifolds.
Bless you.
No, it's not.
Okay, just
Okay.
Kathy, if you could regain sharing, and Val, you could let it go in reverse order.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
What'd you say?
And then
I was
Kathy,
saying
if you could
that-
pull up the Pochick Ave image again, so
Do
we can
do
show
you see
John.
it? Do you see it?
No, not the one that I just provided, but the images that I gave you that are,
Yeah, do you see them?
Not
no.
yet.
Oh, what is going on? Sorry.
It's
That's okay. We
okay.
have to use these muscles to get strong with them.
have to,
So it's gonna take a little time.
Turn to meeting. How come I can't share? Do you see it now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, now
So
I know.
that's the old fashioned kind that swing in and latch up, which I believe is what John calls hoppers. And this is a modification of that. They're true divided light. And instead of folding all the way, swinging all the way up, they now have the ability to fold,
That's cool.
to take up less space on the interior. And this is on Nantucket.
Okay, thank you. John, do you have any questions?
Yes, these bifold windows, that building is on Nantucket.
Yes,
Where?
Pochick Avenue.
Huh?
Pochick Avenue.
Right up here.
Pochick Avenue, there's only one of them, right?
I don't know that. I can
All right.
ask the company.
Now, if you go back and look at the house on the east side, and there are 12 six-light windows that should be made double hung in the old HCC area, right straight ahead on it. You see those? You got 12 windows up there.
I'm only proposing
I'm sorry?
where it says change material and trim to resemble porch infill.
So drop that down about an inch. If you look at the.
Kathy, can you show
Where's
the
the
full
east side?
page?
The full page? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
I mean, the top, the bottom full page? Yeah,
Like that?
I think
There
so.
it is, right there.
There we go. Is that better?
And Val, John, forgive the interruption. Val, can you describe the windows you're talking about replacing with these windows on the proposed east elevation, and Kathy, point them out for John?
Sure. So where you see the bubble, it says change material, more trim to resemble porch fill-in area there on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
They would like them on the second floor above that as well, but the rest of the windows are double hung.
So
It's
the
just
three
this-
above the three above the first floor, three, and then is there any others that you're proposing to be like
Yeah,
this?
so that would be on the east, west? No,
East.
south.
I was
is
hoping
two
you were gonna
windows.
say that.
Three, excuse me, three on the first floor.
Right here,
Yeah.
right here.
So
So in
just to-
other words, that's like a porch infill area, but they wanted them on the second floor as well, if they can have them on the previous view, which is the east.
Okay, just again, I want to clarify for John. Kathy, will you flip to the east elevation,
Sorry. Okay.
one up? John, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so Kathy, please show them the first floor windows.
Right here.
These three, John, and then they are proposing be the windows as in Pocheck Ave, and possibly the windows above. And then on the west elevation, these three windows, the same as Pocheck.
Right.
Are you clear on what they're proposing? John?
Mr. Chair, if I made the south elevation.
South, sorry. John, did you get that?
Not yet.
Which part?
What's on the end? The gable ends you're talking about?
Yeah, the south.
Right here.
Those three windows right there.
They got 6/6s, right?
Correct, but they want them to fold up and in instead of,
See, I can't read that. It's too small. I don't know why, but all of it's small like that.
Yep.
That's gonna be, well, anyway. I made my comment about the
Okay,
12.
Jesse, comments, please.
well, I didn't finish though. On the east side as well, I had proposed three dormers, and we have now gone down to one dormer, which I believe SAB this was the one dormer they thought was okay because it wasn't a dormer over a dormer. So there's no changes on the north, and that's it.
Okay, Jesse, comments, questions?
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
1 second, Holly.
Absolutely.
Can we unmute Jesse?
Let me see if I can find him.
I see him.
Okay, I'm in. Sorry about that.
Hey, Jesse, hold on 1 second. I'll get questions and comments. Holly has a comment.
I just want to reiterate what HSAB had mentioned about the dormer to Val's point. They did say all third floor dormers are inappropriate as dormer on top of dormer.
Yes, but they did say excuse me, Holly, sorry to interrupt, but their report said something about the north dormer was appropriate.
Proposed north dormer, okay, if meets guidelines, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to notate that. And Mr. Chairman, if I may as well, since the last meeting, and I did not get to provide this, but I have received some historical information from MPT about this, and I just thought it was pertinent to show.
I
So
thought I did a good job of the,
you did, but this was a photograph I've never seen. Can you see me as I'm talking and see it, or no?
You're the ghost in the machine. Can
Yeah.
Kathy, could you stop share and then Holly can pop
Yeah.
up the picture?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, Holly, you're up.
Okay.
We're doing drills here.
We
Yeah.
are doing drills.
It's hard to really
Bear with
see.
me for 1 second as I stop my virtual background.
Yeah.
Reminds me of my college experience.
Sorry. So I wanted to point out this photograph that's in this document that's from NPT. It's entitled Sconset House by House. And this upper photograph shows I just wanted to show this, that this shows 3 ganged windows on the first floor. I just thought that was interesting to note. And if you're interested to note that the date of that photograph, which, sorry, I'm going opposite direction, is 1910. So this was just some additional historical information I wanted the commission to be aware of, and I apologize, it was not included in the online packet.
No, but thank you for that, Holly, because I did put in some pictures in history, and that is interesting to note, since typically we don't like triple windows, and
Correct.
that would be in keeping with what's going on in the back, and nothing's changing on that side.
Correct. I wanted you all to be aware that that's a little anomaly.
Okay. Now, thank you, Holly. Appreciate that. Jesse, do you have comments or questions or comments?
Yeah, let me just see.
Kathy, if you could bring up your share, please.
Okay, I thought I did it.
And we'll go to the elevations. And Jesse, you, just so you know, you're on mute again. I think there's a setting somewhere buried in your settings that is automatically muting you when you're.
Oh, okay. I gotta check every time.
I hear you.
Mhm.
You guys can hear me good now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
So I'm looking at the, the question is the east elevation, which is the elevation to the left in this drawing.
Yep.
And you're proposing the in-swing windows for the first and second floor
Just
on the left side of the
wall.
building.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do they need it on the second floor? I understand the porch on the first floor.
They were trying to make that a sun porch as well, but I think if we can get the first floor, they'll probably be fine. And just keep those as double hung.
I think, I mean, I think, you know, being that the historical significance of the property, that might be better. And also just want to make comment on the that 3D mechanical that you did. I like that. It gives it a little bit of a throwback to a double hung because it's 2 windows.
Yeah.
So I'm totally okay with that. It's not something you'll notice from a outside perspective.
I also want to note, sorry, that I did do a pretty extensive, well, what I could find for history, and not for nothing, this house is not at all the original house that was there. The front page of this application, I put a rendering of the original house, which was significantly different. So I just want to point that out. The whole second level is not at all. It's, I think, page 3, Kath, or whoever's doing it.
It's me. Which,
So go up.
oh, page 3, including the application. Okay. Is that it?
No. You just, yeah, that.
Okay.
See this rendering? This is from, it's called something Houses of Sconset. Holly, help me out here.
That's Foreman's book.
Yeah, and the circled building is the original structure. So as you can see, there was no second floor at all.
So I think, Val, you made the point that change happens. With respect to this application, we've got myself, John, Jesse. Is there anyone else sitting?
No.
I think
No.
it's you 3.
So I think my comments quickly are that with respect to the east elevation, I think that the the introduction of the window type you have indicated as a TDL, it's a TDL, correct?
Yes, all
Is-
TDL.
Is, I'm comfortable with that. I do believe that the second floor should be double hungs. I
Okay.
have no concern with the dormer, as it's not directly over a dormer. And I know, I believe at maybe it's 33 Prospect Street, that exact condition exists on a different structure. On your north elevation, no changes. Your south elevation, my comments would be the same, that the mulled units of the new type that you're discussing is appropriate and double hung above. Any other thoughts by John or Jesse before I ask for a motion?
Not me.
Okay, so Jesse, would you be comfortable making a motion to approve with the first floor being the window type proposed and the second floor being double hung, all TDL and the dormer as submitted?
Motion to approve with the dormer as submitted, all windows to be true divided light.
Yeah.
And omitting the second floor swing into double hung.
Okay, thank you. John, are you there?
I'm here.
Are you going to second that emotion?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Are you in favor of the motion?
Buttons,
John, are you in favor of the motion to approve the first floor windows as proposed? The second floor is double hung, all TDL, and the dormer as shown,
drama ones or what?
as shown,
And they're fixed.
fixed.
I gotta stand by what I believe in, but. Who made the motion?
Jesse,
And you want me to vote?
that's the question to you, sir.
I'm gonna vote no.
Okay, the chair votes in favor, carries 2-1. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Okay, so Kathy, question for you. Do we have Stephen Thoreau on the line so we can review?
We do. I can admit him right now.
Okay, so for the board, we are now going back to item number 3.
Because the gap in the
under new
fencing is gonna
business.
raise the question of, what is that gap for? Why does it just open in the dark?
Stephen, you need to mute your background.
With that is,
Stephen Thoreau,
Stephen,
the other Stephen.
let me text him.
the material used, we have to be really specific about that.
Okay.
I almost think.
That's a feedback. That was Val talking.
Yeah.
Stephen, do you hear us?
On casters, you're saying?
Or swing or something. I mean, I'm not adverse to your suggestion. I just don't know myself.
Hey, does anyone,
Hesitate to just
Andrew,
approve
does
anything.
anyone have any idea where that's coming from?
That's Stephen, I think, watching the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I'm texting him to tell him not to watch
Oh,
YouTube.
Stephen Welch's YouTube is muted.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
not,
Stephen Walsh.
not you.
Thoreau.
Yeah, let's use last names, guys, because I'll
Yeah.
get it confused.
All right.
Thoreau, are you on?
All right, I'll make a motion to hold 39 Pilgrim until we get Stephen Thoreau's audio squared away.
We gotta get him on and keep him on. All right, so that's the motion. All those in favor?
You take the hold number 3?
Yeah, we're gonna hold it again.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sounds like he's on. Stephen? Stephen?
Oh, God.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
there is a motion to hold item number 3 until we can get Stephen on the line. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's go to number 5.
Aye.
Thank you. Number 5, do we have somebody to represent that one?
We do.
Okay, let's get them on.
Okay. I'm unmuting her. Myra?
It still says mute.
I know.
She's on.
Oh, there she is.
Yep.
Parking area, and you do have the type 2 fence, and you're actually right up against the deck.
Same thing's happening.
That's still Thoreau's, that's
you
Thoreau's
mute?
feedback, and I can mute him if you need to.
Please,
Yeah, well, I don't
Yeah,
want to hear that.
yeah,
just ask him to hold the line and we'll mute him.
Yeah,
when we're ready.
yeah, I'm texting him.
He's muted now.
Okay.
In the meantime, do we have the current applicant up?
Yes, she is here. Pull her application up.
Okay.
63. Okay, do y'all see it?
Yep.
Yes, thank you. And is this an audio only thing or,
No, I can see her.
oh, I can't.
Myra, can you hear us?
She must be on mute.
No, now she is. No, she's not.
Yeah. Myra, can you hear us? She's talking. Do you have a mute on your end?
She said no.
She's
I can
definitely-
read lips.
Yeah, me too. Andrew, what's happening?
I don't know. Let me try muting her and unmuting her. And
Kathy,
Yes.
just in the meantime, in the interest of trying a little time here, can you scroll down this application so that we can actually see what we're reviewing
Right.
here? It looks like,
Right.
okay, so kitchen hood installation, we got a bubble there.
Innovation. And it's this.
This is on Old South Road. Okay, yeah, okay, big fan.
These are just specifics.
Do we have a site plan that shows where on the building this fan is occurring?
Probably not. Doesn't look like there is.
Didn't seem like a complete application to me.
Did not?
No,
I mean,
I don't think the
perhaps-
checklist was used.
no, there was, yeah.
On this was, if I may, there was just, it was on the side of the building.
I want to see a site plan
Yeah,
because
I'd
what's,
like to see an elevation showing the fan,
right here.
the fan.
Yeah, you can't see.
Well,
This is the size of a small jet engine.
yeah,
I'm not joking.
yeah.
Question,
yes, John,
in that, right there on the south elevation, what's
yes.
that red for?
Okay, so John, what this application is for is they want to have one of those big vent hoods, like for a commercial grade stove. See that thing right there, John?
Right, okay.
They have one, they want to put one of those on the side of the building. And my big question is, which side, where is it facing? And so far, I haven't seen any site plan or anything to tell me the answer to that question.
I believe it's the right side, but what building is that?
Yeah, which building is it? I don't know.
When the red mark right is where the thing's gonna go, the metal thing?
Yeah, that's right, John. But like, so we
It's gotta
don't
be
know
in the
whether
roof.
that elevation, well, we could figure it out, I guess. So that's the south elevation. Is it, which one of those 3 or 4 buildings up there is it?
Okay, she's not there though. That's not drawn there.
No, no, it's just bubbled. That's where they want
Complete
to.
application, right?
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
need more
there's no
information
plot
to-
plan or site
Yeah,
plan.
I tend to agree with Val on this one that, not tend to, I'm definitely agreeing with Val on this one that I think in order for this to move forward, for us to be able to review this properly, we need to have a site plan showing where,
Yeah,
where.
and an elevation, Ray.
Well, so yes, Diane, there's an elevation, but the elevation does not show the fan on the elevation for just any
No.
kind of scale.
That's what I mean. We need to have an elevation to
All right.
see how it's gonna go in and what the piping is. Is it gonna go on the roof or what the hell is it doing?
So it's unfortunate that we can't get Myra on the vocally. Hey, Myra, wave if you can hear what we're saying. You can, okay. So what we're after is a site plan, and on the site plan, show us where this is going. And then if you could just draw in a circle on that elevation, showing us how big this thing is going to look on the elevation. That's what we want to see, and then we can review you again. But I think for the time being, we need to hold.
Motion to hold for revisions.
Thank you. So the motion has been made. Val has made a motion to hold for revisions. And Myra, you understand what we're after? That you can do a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you hear us. You hear us?
Mr. Chair, if I
Yeah.
may, she can call the office tomorrow and I can explain it to her.
Okay.
Okay.
Myra, if you can hear us, you want to call the office tomorrow and Kathy will tell you everything. Okay? All right. All right.
Right.
There was a motion made. Could you help me out? Who made the motion?
Me,
Val. Okay, so Val, are you in favor of your motion?
I'm in favor of my motion to hold for revisions and more
You
information.
mind if
Very
we-
good, great, thanks. Abby,
I'm in favor of holding it.
thank
for
you.
More
John,
information.
I had comments. No, I already, you keep making motions and you don't answer me.
well, no, so John,
Yeah,
they're gonna get us more information. We don't have enough information to really review this. So they're
Right.
gonna get us a plan, a site plan, and they're gonna draw the fan on the elevation. So we need to see this again, John.
yeah, no, okay, but I just want to say seeing it's visible from the west and the south. Is there a plan in now showing the roads,
No,
west side or the other, aerial photo?
no.
Why we
nothing.
want more information.
So John, we need to get all that. We're totally with you. So we're gonna review this again, John,
Yeah.
once they get us that information that you want.
Who wrote approved on it?
No. That, the approved thing is previous stuff. That's stuff that we already approved.
I
but-
got you, okay.
Yeah,
Thank
so-
you.
so pay no attention to that. So John, you're in favor of the motion to hold this for some more information?
Yes,
Okay,
Thank you.
great. And who did I miss? Oh, Diane.
I
Okay,
approve holding it for more information.
thank you. And the chair is in favor of holding it, so that's a unanimous vote. Thank you. Okay, that's it for Richmond. Any Nantucket Architecture Group yet?
Let's try this again. Stephen?
Okay,
I am here.
Hey, he's here.
he
That
is.
seems to be working.
That-
How is
I can
everybody?
Hear you, Stephen.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we
We
can.
can hear you.
All right. So nice to see you guys or hear from you guys. We're talking to you from the backyard. So this is an addition on 39 Pilgrim Road. And the west elevation that faces Pilgrim Road, we're putting a new garage door on. We're adding a breezeway connection, which is a new entranceway, and a first floor master bathroom. On the south elevation, there are no changes to the existing building. On the east elevation, we're adding the breezeway connector, some garage windows, and a new deck, first and second floor. And on the north elevation, we're adding some garage windows to a blank wall that's there. The east elevation that faces the neighbors is fully screened by existing vegetation and is not visible from Cliff Road and/or from Pilgrim Road as shown in the photographs that I submitted. Thank you.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, Ray.
It would be helpful, given the new way that we are now having to review these applications, it would be very helpful if you bubbled your revisions. Now, I do know, I'm aware that you submitted an existing elevation and a proposed elevation, but as you can probably see from your computer, Kathy is trying desperately to get us to see all that stuff, and it's kind of tough.
Yeah, I completely agree with you and understand. I didn't think we'd be meeting this way, so that is my my error. But yes,
Well,
going forward, yes, I certainly will. Thank you.
Val's hand waving. Val, what do you have something to say, dear?
I was just waiting till you said, did we have any comments?
Oh, okay. Well, so you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, then go.
I did go up there. I do agree with Stephen about the visibility of the east elevation. What is missing for me, aside from the bubbles, which is why I went up there, is that by connecting the garage and the main house and moving, there's no longer a front door in the main body of the house, and what appears to be the front door is now a triple door into an entryway. And so I think we need a front door somewhere.
Okay.
But in terms of the massing, I think it's fine. And he is correct about the visibility of that one elevation.
Meaning the lack of visibility.
Lack of visibility, correct. Thank you.
Okay, you're confirming that. Okay, so your only concern really is the lack of front door, Val, is that?
Yeah, there's no entry to the house, really.
Okay, great. Thank you, Val. Abby, you ready?
No, I wanted to clarify, where is the front door? What elevation?
Look at the west.
Right here.
Yeah.
And there's a front door there.
Right here.
Okay. And now it's turned into the triple?
It's moved over to a subordinate mass, which is now the connector, and it doesn't have the appearance of a front door.
And just to clarify, the wire balustrade on the
east
north, well, you see it from the north, east elevation. You can't see that from the road?
No, and if you want me to explain why, because I did take.
No, I don't need.
Okay.
I just
it's owned by the next door neighbor where it comes in front of this house.
I think I'm pretty much okay with the renovations. I think even the front door going to a triple. I don't think I have any constructive comments.
Okay. Well, is that?
Yeah, that's a yes. I'm okay with the.
You're okay with the submission as is. Okay, thank you, Abby. Diane. You there, Diane? Uh-oh. Did we lose Diane?
Say.
Oh, I think I heard.
Diane, I don't see her.
Diane got booted out, but she's coming back in.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We're back. So, Andrew, did you say that?
Yes, Andrew here.
Okay, so I'm curious to know how long was she off? Has she been reviewing this with us?
She's coming in right now.
Look, I'm going to go to John and I'll come back to Diane. John, do you have comments on this application?
Could you show me the aerial shot or the land? Okay. That's what I want to see. I can't see this. It's too small. Does it go bigger? There's the garage. I got that. Okay. See that. Charles. Charles. Can you read it? Where it says that name right there on the back. Go back to the back last one.
The other one, okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. What does that say on the right side of that? Charles something.
Charles,
Oh,
Charles E. and Elna Sewell.
Soule, S-O-U-L-E?
Yep.
yes.
Okay. That's Pilgrim Road and that's, what's this upper road?
Cliff Road.
Cliff Road?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting the location. All right. Now, can you go back to the east elevation, please?
Sorry.
Okay, that's one. That's
East.
good.
Here it is.
Right, yeah. Okay. What kind of horizontal boards are they? We have a lot of problem with them a few years back. Up near the school. They're horizontal boards. We should have a standards approved and standards not approved. I think they look awful with their boards.
I think they're wire.
Yeah, they are. Well, I think they are.
They are.
Yeah.
And it's from the other side too.
That's it.
This is east elevation. What's the north and west?
There's no.
There's one there.
No.
That's gotta be more than 8 feet out. I would say, I can't measure it from here. It's gotta be 8 foot off that wall,
Right here.
right there, the top and bottom. I'm just saying that's my comment.
Okay,
Look
John.
further into them.
So Val went out and saw this, John, just FYI, Val went out and saw this and says that the railing in the back will not be visible from a public way, meaning Cliff Road or, what's the other road?
Okay,
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim. Thank you, John. So we have Diane back. I can see Diane. Diane, were you able to follow along with this conversation? I know we lost you for a minute.
I had one more, Rick.
Oh, sorry, John.
I'm sorry.
Hang on, Diane.
Right.
Yes, John, go ahead.
Looking at it from the photo of the house,
Yes.
you know. I think that's why they got them up there, so they can probably see some water on that side of the road, the Cliff Road. I'm just saying, that's a problem with me until I get more information. So anyway, I'll leave it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, John. Diane,
Yes,
were you able to follow along with this? I know that you dropped off for a second.
I don't know why it did it, what the program did it, said that the host would let me in. So
Well, but
I don't
so,
know.
do you have
Yes.
comments on this application?
No, I don't think that you'll be able to see the rail from the back. It's a hard place. And I haven't had a chance to go and look at it, so I would think that it would be all right.
Okay. Well, the chair feels the same way. So I think that we could certainly move forward with an approval of this if someone is willing to make that motion.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
Very good. I'm going to poll the board. Thank you, Diane. Diane, are you in favor of your own motion?
Yes,
All
I'm in
right.
favor.
Okay, great. Thank you. John, are you in favor or opposed?
I'm gonna do more research. I'll vote no.
Okay, so one
Because of that.
opposed. How about you,
Thank
Val?
you.
I am opposed, Because of the west having no front door or formal entry.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's sort of.
The rear I don't have a problem with, but the house doesn't have a front door.
Hey,
And
Val,
that's the most visible side.
what would the center door of those three, if I made it a front door with glass in it, would that be acceptable to you?
What kind of, because it is a front door with glass in it. What do you mean?
How about a 9 light or a 4 light?
I think a little more solid would definitely give it a front door presence. So I would.
All right.
be-
Well, how about a 4 light with a big big panel on the bottom?
Yeah. In theory, yes. I just don't know how that will correlate with the windows, the doors on the side, but yes.
Okay, I can do that.
But, so, hey, Kathy, can we just see the elevation that they're discussing?
I'm sorry, which one was that?
That's the west.
Okay,
West. You were on the east.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you see how there's 3 doors?
Yeah.
Stephen, I almost think if you did the 6 with like 2 solid panels below, it would maybe correlate better.
You mean so I just want to be clear on this, Val. You're talking about keeping the 3 wide, 2 tall, 2 high, 6 lights, and then the rest of it would be wood panel, which is sort of like a cottage style door.
Yeah, like the craftsman style kind of.
Craftsman style door, exactly. Okay.
I am good with that, Val.
Okay.
All right. Hey, so just to keep things clean here, Diane, you had made a motion to approve as is. Would you have any objections to modifying your motion to include Val's concern about the front door, changing to getting that to be a cottage style door? 6
No,
foot.
no, not at all. I didn't see that west elevation, so I'm delighted that she did that.
Okay, great. So Diane has modified her motion to approve this with there being, excuse me, a cottage style 6 light door in the middle of the 3 doors on the west elevation. Okay, so Diane, you're obviously in favor of your own modified motion.
Right.
Val, where do you stand now?
I'm good with that motion.
Okay, great.
Val
Abby?
Oliver, yeah, aye.
Aye. Abby?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify, can we go back to the elevation, please? Are those doors on either side of the front door, or are those windows with panels underneath?
They're fixed glass, Abby.
Fixed glass with a panel just happens to,
Whatever's shown on the plan right now is yes.
yeah, but it's not a triple door, it's a single
No,
door.
it's not a triple door. It's a center door that Val's just modified in
Yeah.
two fixed panels.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
All
did
right,
you
thank you.
Wait, hold on a second. I want to be clear on that. They are doors rather than windows. They're just fixed doors.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Abby?
Yeah, I kind of like it the way it is. But I'm okay. I just suddenly got distracted here.
Okay, so are you in favor, or are you okay with the
I'm fine
idea?
either way. I'm fine
Okay.
either way.
All right, so then it sounds like you're in favor of the motion then.
Yeah,
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you are.
no, I
Okay,
am in favor.
And John, I'm going to imagine that you are still opposed to this application, correct?
The vertical rails going to be approved, basically.
Yeah, the consensus view is that those will be invisible from a public way.
Okay. I'm in favor.
Okay.
Lack
All right.
of visibility.
Well, that's the case. Yes. So the chair is in favor of. So that motion actually carries unanimously. So there we go. Stephen.
Thank you.
go back.
Thank
to
you very
your
much,
letter.
folks.
Okay.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
No,
Thank you.
I appreciate that very much, and this has been very interesting. I think for everybody.
We're all figuring it out.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Okay, thanks.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Next up,
Bye.
we have, oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Next up, we're at item number 6, correct? 8 Daffodil Lane.
Yes, and someone's here for that.
Okay, very good. Can we put them on?
Maybe that's Tobias, maybe?
I don't know.
A question about the meeting. How long do you think this is going to go on? And
The answer to that question is, I've no idea.
forever?
Well, let's see.
There's,
We've covered 6 items, but there's been numerous things like, trying to get Steve on.
Yeah.
Trying to get Jesse on was a little mixed up. So what, do you have a time constraint?
No, I want to feed the dogs and blah, blah, blah. I wasn't sure how long this was going to be.
Well, I imagine it's going to go a little while longer, Abby. Do you
Couple of
wanna-
hours?
Not a couple of hours, no.
No.
I would say maybe possibly another hour.
Okay, is there an alternate that I could step out for a minute?
Yeah, there is.
Okay,
So TJ, I'm seeing you on the screen. You want to sit in on this one?
Happy to, Ray.
Okay, thank you.
thank
Okay,
you.
so this is 8 Daffodil. Okay, we'll see you in a little while, Abby.
Thank you.
We'll get you back on. Okay, so we have somebody representing this application. Ah, there we go. Hello. What? Oh, hey, you're muted. If you can hear me, you're, oh, there we go.
there you go.
I can hear you, Ray. It's Tobias from Max
Yeah.
Point Solar.
Thanks, Tobias.
It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you. We're looking at your application on the screen, Tobias.
Yeah, I got it.
Can we back up and see can I see the locus of this? Okay.
I can walk you through briefly if you'd like, Mr. Chairman.
That would be really great. And Kathy, if you could follow along with Tobias's narrative.
Lovely. Thank you again, everyone, for hosting this virtual meeting. We really appreciate it. So really briefly, this is a black solar array on a black roof. It is located on the back of a building that fronts Daffodil Lane. You cannot see it from the road. You'll see probably the closest point that you could potentially see it would be from Evergreen, looking across 2 property points. Thank you for those gestures, Kathy. Same as we always do. And that's it.
Hey, Tobias, I have a question for you.
Of course.
Okay, Kathy, if we go back to this, the locust plan, this lot appears to have been subdivided, right?
Yes.
So is that building in the back still there, the one that shows up on the locust plan?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so that building is going to be blocking most of this roof anyway from Evergreen Way, correct?
That's correct.
Is it a 2-story?
What's that?
Is it a 2-story?
I don't know.
Oh,
Tobias?
Yes, it's 2 stories.
okay.
Well, okay, to be clear, I believe Val was talking about the building on the back lot that's theoretically blocking this.
Yes, it is 2. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board?
Question?
Yes, John.
There's 27 of them. 27,
Yes.
there's no problem. Is it, that little thing in the middle, that's not a chimney, what is that thing?
That's a vent pipe for a bathroom. And at times we can move them and try to make things fit together.
Yeah,
But most of the time, John,
I had one other comment.
John. You go ahead, John.
I just lost it, wait a minute. Is the documentation with it showing that they're black and they're not silver?
Right here,
Is it in there?
There it is.
right here.
Sorry?
It's on the screen now, John. If you're looking at your screen, you'll see the product information.
Okay, there they are. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the middle one, does that have, is that a silver, 3 silver ones down there? So the middle one is a 3.
No,
It's got silver down it. It looks like it. I don't know. Can you get that closer? I don't know. It looks like it on all 3 of them.
So these are the same panels we use on all of our projects.
Yeah.
John, I don't think there's any silver on these panels at all.
Yeah, I've never heard of HIT company, HIT.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, it should be an item is looked into.
They look at it ahead of time.
Okay.
Either that, we can change our mind and start approving them with silver. I know, as long as you don't say the old HTC.
Approve it with silver.
I don't, may I say,
Yes. Go ahead, Diane.
I think that the panels that Tobias usually gives us does not have the silver that Johnny is mentioning that.
Yes.
Been using these for about 3 years now. We only use these.
And these have a 4-inch or less profile off of the roof plane, correct, Tobias?
Yep.
Good.
It can vary sometimes up to 5. What we like to do, sometimes there's some deflections in the roof. So we like to flatten everything out.
Okay.
All right, sweetie. I don't think there was anything. So I'll see you when you get back, okay?
Let's see. TJ, do you have any comments on this?
Other than what I just said, I find it appropriate on account of limited visibility. Everything's on the south roof plane. There's a building between it and the next public traveled way. So if nobody else needs to say anything, I would propose a motion.
Let me just go down the board, but I'll just see if there's any further comments. Val.
I think it meets the criteria that we have set forth, with the exception of them not all going the same way, but it is the rear of the building. The shingles are black.
Right. Black and black.
So I'm good.
Okay. All right. So Diane, I know you were talking to somebody else, but so you good with this? Or?
Yep. No, I think it's good. I appreciate the black roof and Tobias's black panels. I think it's a long view from Evergreen over to Daffodil, and there are trees and shrubs and all that stuff in between. So I think it will be difficult to spot.
Okay.
And so we're actually re-roofing this structure, but we already received, it's a like kind, but that's a service we're offering now. We re-roof projects that we do solar.
Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Listen, I think that we have liftoff on this if anyone is inclined to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
That sounds great. Diane, are you in favor of your motion?
I am in favor of the motion.
Great. TJ?
Aye, I'm in favor.
Great. Val?
Aye, I'm in favor.
Okay. John?
Yes.
All right, and the chair is in favor of. So that motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice
Cheers.
talking to you. Hey, you have a glass of wine. You're not allowed to do that at a public meeting.
Cheers. Cheers. Arrest me.
Okay. Talk to you later. Nice seeing you.
Thank you. Be well, everyone. Be safe.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thanks
much.
a lot. Bye. Okay, next up we got
Bye.
Number 7, 4 Hulbert Avenue. Do we have Sophie? That was for Kathy.
Okay. Great.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was on mute. I'm just letting her in now.
So Kathy, do we have Sophie to represent 4 Hulbert Avenue?
You do. I just let her in. I don't know where she is. Sophie? Stand by. Andrew, are you in the background? Oh, there she is.
Okay.
Yep.
Hi, Sophie.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hey.
Good.
Hey, Sophie.
Hi.
Welcome to the virtual meeting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get your information up on the screen. And if you could just then, once it's on the screen, if you could just walk us through what you're.
So this is down at 4 Holbert. You guys approved the old house that's there. You approved lifting it
Oh,
up,
yeah, yeah.
putting in all new windows and doors, and we're
Yep.
putting in wood windows. So this guest house is actually not old. I think it was built in 92, and then they did an addition to it in 2012. And so it right now has vinyl windows. So if you guys see, if we just start on the east, the top left diagram is the existing, and then immediately below is the red bubbles are the things I'm asking to change. So I was trying to take this opportunity of, redoing the windows and tweaking a few little things. The first, going left to right, is above the front door. Right now, there are 2 windows right next to each other, asking if we could go down to 1 for that. And then the French doors, the pane configuration had been somewhat square.
Yep.
But if we're going to put in the new doors, I was thinking we could match the windows, just get the ratio a little bit better. On the north elevation.
Well, let me just interrupt you. So you're looking at the side of a little pent roof that you're adding there too.
Yeah, and that pent roof is on the north elevation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So on this side, I looked back at the original approval that you guys did for the addition, and the huge garage doors that are almost 11 feet tall that were installed, if you guys look at the top right drawing, those, you guys never actually approved them that tall, and they feel a little odd. So I was asking if I could bring them down to sort of soften that facade up a little bit with that roof above. And then asking to do larger windows for that room where Kathy has the hand cursor on that side.
Yep.
And there's also an existing skylight on the north elevation that I'm asking to eliminate.
Okay.
And then if we move down to the west elevation, the changes there, I'm asking to just center that upper window in the gable and enlarge the one on the first floor.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the south elevation, there's a really pretty view to the wetlands out those windows. So I'm asking if I could add one there. And we're re-roofing the roof with a wood roof, new sidewall, and all the windows to be wood as opposed to vinyl.
Great. Okay. Well, is that it, Sophie? It seems like it.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. Diane, what do you think?
I think it's great. I think that the windows will approve. I'm delighted to see wood instead of that nasty vinyl.
Yeah.
And the wooden roof, I have no objections whatsoever.
Okay. Thank you very much, Diane. Val, where are you on this?
I think there are improvements. I did have some concern with the mold windows and the shutters, but I see that that's prevalent on the existing building. So I'm fine with this. And thanks, Sophie.
Thank you.
Yeah. TJ.
I'm okay with it. I think it all follows suit with what was done on the main house. So looks good and appropriate.
Thank you. John.
Fine design.
What's that?
Fine design, very fine. Looks good.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, wow. I like it a lot too. I think everything is an improvement, frankly.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, if I may, there are staff comments. Didn't know if you wanted to read them.
Oh, okay.
Read them.
Oh gosh. Wait.
It's not a lot, Mr. Chair. If I may, I can just.
Hey,
I can,
how about this? How about Holly, could you read?
I can do a synopsis. Yes, sir.
That would be
So,
really, thank you.
at the end of the day, I didn't see any concerns, obviously, with the change to the windows, doors, SDL, that's great. Skylight removal, fine. Shingling, obviously, is fine. I was just a little concerned on the ganged windows on the north and south. Thought that was a little bit too much fenestration, but I did appreciate the keeping the 2/2s. So thank you for doing that.
Okay,
Thank you, Holly. Yes, John.
one question, I do not see any air conditioners, am I right?
It has,
Yeah, fenced in.
there are no air conditioners through the windows. Is that what you're asking, John?
No, if you're gonna put in air conditioning.
That
Are you going to
structure
put
has
it
air
in?
conditioning already.
Oh, it does?
It
What
does.
if condensers?
Yeah.
I
So-
want to say that they're over by, I don't actually know, but there's photos on the last page. So if they're there, well, usually you'll see them.
Okay, if they don't have it, you're gonna apply if you want it, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't see them.
Yeah.
Well, we got all that vegetation there, all that wetland vegetation. No.
If
I
you
don't
guys
see-
look on the drawing, my memory is that they're on the side where that, oh shoot, I can't click on it. If you scroll down, Kathy, where it says existing propane tank, and there's that cedar enclosure. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it wraps the
Right here.
HVAC in that corner.
Okay. Right
Okay.
here.
Do you guys see that?
Yeah, well, we see that on the drawing, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't see the
There it
units,
is.
but you see the cedar enclosure that hides them.
Right here.
Oh, so they're in there, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right here.
Got that, John? John?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
John, the air conditioning units are in that cedar enclosure on the south elevation
And the west elevation.
and the west elevation.
South there. Oh, I got you, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Cedar, oh, that's the outdoor shower and the propane tank.
Well, it's actually not an outdoor shower. It's actually where your air conditioning units are being
That
hit.
part, right? Yeah.
You
Just gotta
okay?
mention If you want to come back.
Well,
They're in there.
Yeah, they're in there now. So assuming that they stay in there, they're not going to be visible from anywhere. Yeah.
Ooh. Tired?
You good? All right. So listen, I think that we were moving in the direction of being able to approve something here. Would anyone care to?
Motion to approve is submitted.
Oh, I like the emotion. Hey, so Val,
Yeah,
are you in
Yeah.
favor of your motion?
yeah, I am.
All right. How about you, TJ?
Aye.
You're in. Okay. How about you, Diane?
I'm in.
All right, like it. How about you, John?
I'll just see what it is, okay.
You good?
Question.
You okay with the application?
We're on number 8.
Yeah, no, we're on number 7 still. We're voting it through.
On who?
We're voting it. So I'm asking if you're in favor of it or not.
We're 37 York Street, isn't it?
No, we're on Holbert Avenue. We're still on 4 Holbert Avenue.
Oh, still on 4 Harvard Ave?
Yes,
Oh, I-
Sophie's project. So sounds like you're good with it. Okay, I think that was a yes. The chair is in favor. So I think that motion carries unanimously.
Aye.
You good?
Yes.
You don't need to do that again. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank
It
you.
was nice seeing you.
You guys too.
We'll talk to you soon. Okay, John, now we're on item number 8.
Number 8, okay.
Yes. Now, do we have, Kathy, this is to you, do we have somebody to represent this one, that person being Robbie Newman?
Yes, I just let him in, so.
Okay, good.
Robbie, are you there? I think it just takes a second for them to pop up. Robbie?
Okay, Harvard Avenue, right?
Well, we just voted Hulbert, so we're now, John, we're on to number 8.
Oh, York Street.
Yeah,
Andrew,
now
is
we're
there a delay with the applicant in the waiting room? Because I let him in.
He's not in yet, but may I step out for a minute?
Yeah, so if you're stepping out, you're stepping off this application, right?
Yeah, I just need to step out for a few minutes.
Okay, so given that, I'm gonna, okay, that's fine, Val, you go ahead.
Okay.
Stephen, can you hop in on this one? Stephen Welch, that is?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Okay,
And,
thank you.
and I want the record to reflect also that Abby, I believe, has rejoined us.
I'll be right back.
Okay, fine.
We'll be here.
So stand by. I did let him in, but I don't see him. And I just sent Andrew a message.
But I also want to make sure that I did see Abby come back. Yeah, there she is. Abby, you're back, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
It's
Thanks.
Robbie.
Hi.
Oh, okay, there he is.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jody. How's it going, Jody?
Hey, Jody.
All right. Okay, so Robbie,
I'm here.
welcome.
Hi, John.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna review what Robbie is here for, which is York Street, 37 York. Robbie, I forget whether you've done this already, but what's happening right now is Kathy is putting your application up on the screen for us all to see.
No,
And-
I've been watching this adventure.
Mr. Chair, there are staff comments as well.
Okay, so let's let Robbie give us an overview of the application so we're familiar, and then I will hear staff comments right after that, okay?
Okay. So if you go down to the photographs, Kathy, you can see that, especially the ones from the interior,
Okay.
from the bay, there you go, you're getting close. Okay, so basically the left-hand side of this bungalow, which when you're looking from York Street, is the left-hand side from the porch. Okay, those are all built, that whole section of building is built on 8x8 piers, maybe 8 to 10 feet apart. They came along at some point and infilled that with basically a plywood foundation. And that's what the bottom photograph, if you go to the next picture down, Kathy. No, down. Where you at? Right there. Right there. Yep. So that's a picture from the interior of the crawl space. Okay. So all that wooden structure that you see there, and it's a little bit difficult to see on the computer here, but all of that wooden structure is basically below grade. If you were outside, you would see about 8 inches of that. Okay. So our proposal is to dig along the edge of the foundation, remove all the wooden retaining foundation material, and then infill with concrete and porch from pier to pier, if that makes any sense. Okay, then the other portion of the application is just putting 3 steps in the very front to bring you in directly from Orange Street instead of having the entry down through the garage or down the driveway facing the garage. She'd like to bring the entry straight in from the street. So it's kind of simple, I think.
So Robbie.
Yes.
I could be the only person that's unclear on this, but so right now, I'm looking at the south elevation.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I just saw your drawing of it. So
Yep.
you're removing that section of railing.
Yep.
in the opening in the
Yeah, the
privet.
drawing
and
shows
that-
it pretty clearly. Go to number 8, Kathy, please. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right. So you're opening up that section of railing and putting some steps there.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's literally two things. Am I correct in saying that it's infilling the foundation in between the existing piers and opening up the rail and putting the steps in?
100%.
Okay. Now, staff comments. Kathy and or Holly, whomever, could you just go through your staff comments on this one for us, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So of course, this is a bungalow, 1930s approximate cottage from Clay Lancaster's info, altered in the 1990s. I think that's key for the commission to realize that it has been altered at one point. Wasn't really, I appreciate the narrative of the application, the front step that makes sense, clear with the drawings. I wasn't too sure about the proposal for the foundation. Was it for the entire foundation? And I'm assuming it's because the plywood was rotten. Does that mean the house is going to be up, like jacked up
No,
to put? Okay.
no, we're gonna leave it in place. Excavate along the edge, which is basically from to the left of underneath the double windows, and then down the west side, as I recall, is the problem area.
So it's that only went one side. It's not the entire.
No, the right-hand side, it has a full foundation under it.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that's clear now. It was hard to decipher with the photograph, so I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
you know, and I didn't want to generate a whole set of drawings. I thought it would be easier and I could make my case clear enough with the photo, so.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you, Holly. Okay, now I'm going to open it up to the board.
I can go, Ray.
Abby,
It's
go ahead.
Abby.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, so I think, it might have been a sun porch and they just might have been up on,
Exactly. That's
open.
exactly what it was. Yes.
and I'm in favor, you're doing something structural for this house. And I think I'm in favor of the two things you want to do. So you've got my vote.
Okay, great. Thank you, Abby. How about you, Val?
I'm not on this. Remember I had stepped
Oh,
up.
God, I'm sorry. How about you, Stephen?
Yeah, no concerns with the principal or the project. I would want to make sure though that the height of the top floor is benchmarked. It is relatively close to the street, West York. And if it goes up at all, that could be problematic. So I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah, Robbie.
Yeah.
Just for the record, to Stephen's point here, you have no intention of raising this building up, right?
None whatsoever.
Okay. All right. And it would be fairly evident to all those passing by every single day, including myself, that if you were raising up the building, but you don't have that intention. Okay. So Stephen, back to you. You don't really have any concerns other than that, right?
No.
Okay. Very good. Diane.
No, I think that it will be good. It's a funny little house, and I think changing that around will not be a bad thing.
Okay, great. Thank you,
I'll make a
Diane.
motion to approve.
I just want to hear from John first, if you don't mind. I'll hold your motion. Okay, Abby? John?
All right.
Are,
Yes, thank
are
you.
you okay with this application?
No, I got a comment. It's down for replace wood foundation with a podge wall.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, from the photo, they've got the crossbar lattice work. Should it be when you replace it, should it be horizontal, vertical, or
Well, hang on, John. I don't think that it's lattice work where Robbie plans to be doing that work. Could we get to that photograph, Kathy? That would be the west elevation.
They did cover the.
Okay. Wait, that was east. Okay.
They
North,
covered that
right?
plywood.
East and south.
Robbie, what were you saying there?
Right, yeah, what's there looks like it's, replaced something else because it's not painted, it's unfinished. I'm just saying that. And to the right of that telephone pole, if you look at the close-up of that wall, you'll find that there's a 6-inch square lattice work.
Oh, hey,
It's all
but
finished now.
John,
See it on the right?
he's not doing anything to the right-hand side there.
Okay, it must have been existing, okay.
Yeah, the only thing that he's doing is not on the south elevation, the one that you're looking at right now, not on that elevation, on the west elevation, he is infilling between piers, so that would be actually a concrete foundation that you're looking at, no lattice.
Yeah,
You okay with that?
just a comment.
Yeah, okay. So there is a Abby has made a motion to approve this as submitted, and I'd like to once again go around and poll the board on this. Abby, what do you think about your motion?
I love it.
All right, I knew you would. Thank you. Okay, Stephen?
Yep.
You're in. Okay, good. Diane?
I'm in.
All right, great. John?
Yes.
Thank you. And the chair is in favor. So that motion carries unanimously. Thank you all. And thank you, Robbie. Nice seeing you.
All right, good night, everybody.
All right,
Forward
good
to
night.
Seeing you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Okay.
Okay.
Kathy, do we have somebody on the line to represent 8B Hawthorne Lane?
So I think Michael is waiting in the wings. However, I received an email from Mirka asking if they could hold off on their applications until next week because they
Oh,
can't.
including, I got something from Mirka. I didn't realize it was this one too.
Let me just check if this is Michael and let's see if it's okay.
All right, I'll read what Mirka says. Just,
Yeah, I'm letting Michael in right now, but I don't think that they can stay. So, and they wanted to be heard together, back to back.
oh, okay. So
So-
neither one of them are available.
Yeah,
Okay, so that means that we're gonna basically hold items 9 through 12 till the next meeting, I guess.
Yeah, I just clicked on Michael anyway because he was waiting. So I don't know why he was waiting, but there seems to be a bit of a delay when you let them in from the waiting room.
The thing that I got from Mirka, from Michael, said that neither one of them was available after 7 p.m.
Yeah.
It's 7:15, so they're done.
They're done. Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I also have to leave at 7:15.
Oh, well,
No,
that's.
I'm teasing.
Where are you going?
Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so if somebody can give me a motion to hold items 9 through 12 for representation.
So moved.
Thank you, Stephen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's just pretend that was the regular board voting that one through. I'm not exactly following the protocol to the letter, you know. Okay, so now I'm, just so you all know, I'm texting my wife because she's up last and we now have one application before her, so she'll get in the queue if she isn't already. Okay, so Kathy, do we have somebody on the line to handle 8 Hubbard Avenue?
Yes, Doug, and he's upside. He's on the side here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, Doug sideways.
That's fine.
There we go.
It worked in my last meeting.
Doug, you're sideways.
Okay. Welcome to the new revised HTC, Doug.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
Oh, yeah,
And-
you too.
And just so you know, Mr. Chair, there are also staff comments on this one as well.
I was certain that there would be with the history of the house. Absolutely, positively.
Okay.
So why don't we have, this will be the protocol. Why don't we have Doug just give us an overview of the project? We'll take a look at the application and the drawings, and then we will immediately after that hear your staff comments. Okay.
Okay.
Doug.
All right. So basically, all we're doing here is raising this house an additional foot from what you previously approved. I'm trying to remember the time frame, probably back in the fall at some point.
Hey, Doug.
And
Doug,
the reason, sorry,
Doug?
yeah, yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to make a point of clarification here because certain of our members were sort of in and out of applications. And the last application, Val was not sitting on, but Val has returned.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you basically have the regular board reviewing this project, which would be Diane, Val, John, Abby, and myself. Okay?
Okay.
All right, continue. Thank you.
Okay, so as I was saying, the changes to the existing house were approved sometime in the fall, I believe.
Mhm.
And at that time, the point of the project was to lift the house above the floodplain.
Yes.
So we got that number from the surveyor, and I actually forgot that, you know, for code purposes, you need to be above the floodplain plus 1 foot. So I forgot to add that 1 foot.
Right.
So we're just really coming back for that additional foot that's required by code.
Okay. That's it.
That's all we're doing is raising it 1 additional foot.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Now, Holly, the mic, you have the mic.
Thank you, sir. So I was not privy to the previous application, so I appreciate that history. That was basically the gist, because this thing is circa 1995. So obviously, it's not historic.
Right.
And so I appreciate that. I guess their previous approval was 3 foot 3 inches above BFE. So now you're going to be going up to 4 foot 3 inches.
Correct.
Okay. My comment for the commission would be the red cedar vertical board without having any vegetation to block it, like the front. It is a lot of an additional look. So I just want the commission to just think about these additional visibility throughout. Obviously, this area, Brant Point, this is not the end of it. You're going to see it. And this should just be something that you're thinking about when we're also going to be discussing for our design guidelines. So that's my comment.
That's great. Thank you very much, Holly.
Ray, if I could just make one comment about that.
Yes, please do.
So the rear of this, which I can't see I'm on my phone, and I'm having a hard time seeing it. So it's the south elevation backs up to a large wetland. So, you know, visibility of that is going to be from a quarter mile away, but also all the vegetation in that wetland is going to block any view of the base of this house.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Hey, so Kathy, to that point, could you bring me back or bring us back to the site plan? Because I had a mistaken idea about where this was. Oh,
Right
I
next
see.
to
It's
the
on
house that Sophie just did.
Right.
Yeah,
And if you look
okay.
at the locus, you can see the wetland is all.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No, I
wide
see it.
open back there.
Yeah, and as we just saw from Sophie's photographs, that wetland is completely full of Phragmites, which is about 7 feet high. So, all right, that's all good information. Okay, well, so I'm going to open it up to the board now. Diane, any view on this that you'd like to share? Oh, Diane is muted.
Diane is muted. Let's see where she is.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm in favor of it.
Okay, so Abby has just spoken. She's okay.
Diane,
Somehow we have to get Diane unmuted.
I know she's talking, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I'm sure she can hear that we're saying that she's
You have
muted.
to unmute me.
Oh,
I did.
You just did it. Okay, you're good. Okay, so Diane,
right.
you're just asking where you were on this.
No, I think it's a problem house because it sits so close to the wetlands there. And I just wanted to know, because I didn't see it on the plans, is how tall is the house now?
Good question.
geez. Let me check. Hold on one sec.
This is 32.
So it'd be
Five.
33.
No, that's where it was previously approved. Let me just zoom in on this. Hold on.
Was approved at 33?
No, it was approved at 34 foot. Hang on, sorry.
Really?
So it's currently 28 foot 2. It was approved at 31 foot 4. So this is going to 32 foot 5.
Okay.
And that doesn't have to have any special.
I have,
It needs ZBA approval, yes.
Yeah, it does.
I have a problem with that because it is right on the edge of the wetlands. The house we just did in front of it is one of the two that are on that side. And that's a huge, tall building to put on the wetlands there. I don't know how you reduce the size, but personally, I think it's gotten up too high. It's not up on Halbert Avenue. The houses around that rotary, whatever you want to call it, are, except on the water side, are small. And at 32 feet, that isn't just one side, that's the whole thing. So I don't know. See what other people think.
Okay. All right.
Do
So
you know the
Abby-
height of the one that Sophie did?
Yeah,
It's at least that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the same, we could call for a view and see what that looks like.
Oh, also, if I could just chime in, also keep in mind that there's a brand new house going up right next door to the left of this house that's at least as tall as what we're showing.
That's the house we're talking about, Doug.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one that you just reviewed from.
No.
Sophie.
No,
You're talking about number 6. Like,
Yeah.
the mansard,
right. I mean,
mansard.
that's at least as tall as this. And that's a brand new house.
Okay.
well, that's only my opinion of the little house with the blue shutters, and then you go around the corner and then you get into this. So for
This
me,
is right next to the house with the blue shutters. Yeah.
right,
Okay. So let's see. Abby, you spoke. John, do you have any comments on this? John, what they're doing on this one is they're raising the house up an additional foot because of the floodplain.
Yeah, I had one question.
Yeah.
You're going up 1 foot,
Well, one more foot.
one more foot. So if the title, when it's done, it'll be 32 foot 5. It
Correct.
says on the application.
That's right.
Okay, he's already over the 30 feet.
Yes.
What happened? You know?
You mean?
It's not yet. John thinks it's already like that.
No, it's 28 foot 2 currently.
Okay, I another comment. I noticed there's no air conditioning. Are they under the porch?
Or they're behind.
The air
unless they're gonna
conditioners.
float away.
I think they're.
No, nobody knows. Okay.
No.
Fine.
Well, Doug would be the only person to know the answer to that question.
Yeah, no, so that is a good question. They're not shown on here, so we'll have to come back for those.
Yeah. Because, Doug, they're going to have to be elevated too. I'm sure
Right,
you're aware
yeah.
of that.
Yeah, we'll have to find a good spot for them.
Yeah.
Chair, Ray,
Yes.
if Paul is doing this because it's code, like what's going to happen to the other houses when they want to touch them? Aren't they all going to have the same problem? Isn't it something we're going to have to continue to be looking at? And this neighborhood is going to change its.
Oh, boy. Abby,
You just-
you're asking the question of the year, of the decade. This is something that Holly has been working on for a long time. This idea of climate change, the floodplain getting higher and higher, and how that's going to affect the whole landscape down, particularly in Brant Point, where pretty much all those houses are going to be subject to this. So we've been doing it kind of in a piecemeal way right now. And the idea is that eventually we'd be doing this in a more concerted way, using other towns that are undergoing the same kind of issue, getting guidance from those places. So yeah, it's a problem. And yes, it's not going to go away anytime soon. So as I say, we've just been sort of reviewing these on a, case by case, and yes, they're all going up. So I don't have any ready answer for you, but Holly and company have been working on this one for a while.
Yes, this is why Resilient Nantucket is very important. I will say this, that this house is contemporary, circa 1995. So it's not one of the older ones on Brant Point, but to that case, that there are some alternatives for historic structures, not having to actually meet the full elevation criteria. So those are some things that we'll be looking at. National Park Service literally just came out with alternative methods to make sure that when you're floodproofing, elevating, hardening, what have you, to a historic structure, that you're actually abiding by the Secretary of the Interior standards, which is important for preservation. So that's just something to bear in mind. These are talks that we all need to have, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later. And with the way the world's going right now, will be this format. But I would encourage you, on a tangent here, to just keep in mind these things, that when we come across them, to note them down, so they can be topics of discussion with our consultants when we get to that point. Thank you, sir.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Holly. That was super.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Stephen.
I realize I'm not on this, but I'd like to just
I
make a
understand.
couple of quick comments.
Yes, please.
One is with this particular application, the red cedar vertical, I take that to be, as proposed, to be a V groove. One of the things we were discussing and we've implemented in the past is that would be a 4 square edge with some separation. So it's not this formal, tight, vertical looking piece of almost like trim versus an outdoor enclosure space. The other thing I got to point out with some angst is, if you look at the north elevation, the proposed first floor elevation for this structure will be 11 feet above grade.
No. It's elevation 11, not 11 feet above grade.
Okay, elevation above sea level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you
difference.
really had me there.
Oh, wow. That would be
Sitting here like,
rather horrific.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But you just got a nerve going in my head. I was just wondering, when you said that, because of the verticality of those boards, do you think if they were horizontal, it would be less noticeable?
No, it's that's an anomaly.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that starts reading very contemporary, to be honest. I mean, that's my opinion, but I think that this is acceptable. However, I do agree with Stephen that V groove, tight knit thing without any sort of airspace in between is very heavy feeling. And I would be in favor, if this moves forward, to space those boards, have them square cut, 1 by 6 or whatever, with like a 3/4 inch space between, so that it looks like, an elevated house in Cape May, New Jersey or something, where the water used to basically just flow right through those boards, when it flooded. So now I don't think I've heard from Val yet on this. Is that right?
No, right.
So
So we do need to address this sooner rather than later. And I hate to keep seeing us passing things through because they're in front of us without really thinking how we want these to end up in the end. I know there was some discussion on like Walsh or one of those off Hulbert streets. At one point, we had thought we'd like the idea of tiered landscape, you know, a little retaining and some planting. However, correct me if I'm wrong, we were told the Concom is not in favor of that idea.
That's correct. Val,
So,
listen, the really great solution to this problem that used to be one of the arrows in our quiver is that we could raise grade up and have like a little bit of terracing so the house didn't really get so
right,
vertical.
right.
But the Concom has decided, and you know, I don't dispute their logic here, but the Concom has decided that when you bring in a lot of earth like that, it creates sort of an artificial path for the floodwaters to go that will create problems when there is flooding. So they're basically completely against doing any kind of terracing, which means that all the grades down there are going to be completely flat. So that's the story on that one.
Okay, so I'm just suggesting us as a group, instead of always putting this stuff to the end, this is going to keep coming up, and I'd like to see us come up with some creative solutions ahead of time. You know, could you bring the shingles down farther? Could you,
right.
This is, you know, just a throwing out there.
Yep.
Harris, attached to the house. In other words, something that's built on that has earth in it, that has plants and stuff, and it's not to the ground. I don't know.
Oh, well, you know, that's interesting because there was another application, I think it was around Wall Street or something, where I'm trying to remember who the applicant was.
I think it was Robbie Newman, and it was a planter.
Robbie, yeah. And we had these little sort of planters like midway up, and you know, I haven't seen it built yet, but it seemed like a good concept.
Yeah, so that, you know, all aside, I like the idea of the spacing. Wondering, again, can the shingles come down a little bit more, and can we mandate some planting to mitigate this? I understand in the back, the wetland is there. Just throwing it out there. I don't know. I think we're up against a lot here.
Hey, Doug, to the idea of planting in the back, do you have room to be able to do that, or are you hemmed in?
Planting in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a yard, not much, but I don't think you're gonna see any plantings that we add though.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the back.
It's the front that where it's really gonna be visible.
Right. And next
Which is
door,
the north elevation.
the place that Sophie did, I guess, which is a new building, with that stone. Their front porch, because I was down there today, has this exact application with the vertical board, and it really is sort of overwhelming.
Huh. Interesting.
So, yeah. The only other thing is, Doug, do we have any certification of this? I know that seems, you know, kind of nitpicky, but I like to have that in the file.
You mean from the surveyor about the elevation?
And then the only other question I have, and this is to us as a group, is there any sort of floor system that could be at flood level? Does it always have to be plus a foot? Is there material that could be?
Well, it's always plus a foot, but that's to the first non flood resistant building material.
Right. Yeah, so I guess what I'm saying, this building is existing and I get it, but is there does anybody know? It's a question. Is there material that could be used as a floor system that wouldn't necessarily have to be a foot above?
Like stone?
Wow.
No, like some sort of treated
Well,
material.
Mr. Chair, through you, there are certain things that you can do. For instance, there's wet proofing, dry proofing. There's actually a couple, I believe, on Brant Point that actually allow the water to penetrate and go out the other side, which I think the owners did on their own. So I guess, and this is how I go back to why the guidelines, this part of it would be so important, because you all would be able to decide, well, we would rather see, this done versus having it elevated a certain amount. I'm not too sure on your specific question, Val, so I apologize. But I would want to know in this case, I would assume the water would, and I can see why Concom wouldn't want to have it
Tiered.
blocked, because
Yeah.
right, wouldn't want it blocked, because you got to think about it. We do have some sort of flooding event, if you will, and then you've got all that material that's flowing right into a wetland. So I can understand that and be sympathetic to them on that regards. But
Absolutely. We talked
this
about
is-
that at coastal resiliency thing.
right, and so this is why they are actually going to be a part of this conversation. Their staff members are involved with Resilient Nantucket. So that's why the mutual collaboration between these boards are important. But I really want you to take this, granted you all already approved the 3'3", but again, having an additional foot, and I get it, going above BFE, but these are things that you all need to take in consideration when we do finally get to talk to the consultant and try to narrow down these guidelines. So
Can I add something?
Of course, Diane, go ahead.
I think that it is important to know what the ramifications of putting a house of this size with this much construction weight and all the rest of the stuff on the edge of the wetlands. I think the Conservation Commission has to join. If you're building on top of unstable land, it's not good, because the weight goes down and the stuff moves around it. I think when we talk, the right questions to ask, otherwise we'll be allowing a house that won't stand for very long.
Diane, I hear you, Diane. So a couple of things on that. One, the house does exist. So it's already, pushing down on the wetland or whatever it's doing. Two is that,
right,
I'm sure Doug can answer this question better than I, but it's subject to the Concom. Like, I'm sure that the Concom is the process that they've either already been through or are about to go through. They're close enough to the wetland where they absolutely have to be reviewed by the Concom.
Yes, it's already been approved by the Concom. And if I could add that this house was there before the wetland was where it is. The wetland has definitely expanded. Because
Right.
we have drawings from a previous survey that showed the wetland much further away from the house.
Funny.
Well, in the old days, the wetland was a swampy thing. It wasn't quite as virulent as it is now.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
So-
hold this discussion for, at the end of the meeting or something where we get together and discuss what we could do to mitigate the and just take what's at hand here, Paul's application, just for now.
Right.
One other thought I
knowledge
had
so
was
that we-
to maybe put a fascia strip along the top of the boards to mitigate that verticality. Might bring it down visually, but
Yeah, I
not
agree with
structurally.
that. That's, Abby, that's very similar to what Val was suggesting, which is pulling the shingle line down further so that you're not looking at quite as many of those vertical boards. So I would definitely be in favor of one of those gestures. Either that's called a water table, by the way, when you run that horizontal board around the base. So either the water table, by the way, Doug, what's the trim color? Oh, it's white. I can see the
Yes.
photo. It's white. Okay. So, whether this white horizontal water table or the shingles come down or both, so,
Yeah, that
we
would
have-
be it. That could
Oh.
be a compromise, or not a compromise, but to bring down the shingles one course and to add a horizontal
yeah,
member at the top.
right. I think that those are good strategies to employ. Now, we have not yet heard from John, so I do want to have him, if he has anything he wants to say. Now, I don't see him on the screen. I'm kind of hoping he's still there.
I can see the top of his head.
John, are you there, friend?
Yes, Ray, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Are we gonna continue, no matter what happens about this COV-19, what happens with the weather stuff? Are we gonna, is this a permanent change to Mondays all the time? Either
No,
way.
no. The Monday thing, John, just so that you know, the only reason that we're meeting on Monday instead of Tuesday is because we had to get time slots from NCTV to do this Zoom meeting, right? Now, while we're doing our Zoom meetings, there's also, I think, 18 other town agencies that also have to do Zoom meetings. So they all need to have NCTV. Well, NCTV only has so much resource, so we had to sign up in advance for a certain number of weekly meeting times, and this is all we could get. So this is not going to be forever. It's going to go back to Tuesday. In fact, we got Tuesday whenever it was available. So some of the meetings will be on Tuesday, but once we're past all this Zoom stuff, definitely Tuesday. Just like,
Another comment, Ray.
Yeah.
If we go back to Tuesday sometime in the
Yeah.
future, on Tuesday night, will that still have the critical problem they have now of meetings and the timing and trying to make sure the room's ready? Because the cops were kicking us out of there. The fire department was kicking us out from upstairs.
well, I can't say for sure, but we've had that Tuesday slot for a long time. I can't imagine they'd change it.
What happened to number 14, the last one?
We
Well,
need
we're
to
still
move this
on
application.
13, so I just want to know if you have any opinion about raising this house up an additional foot because of the floodplain.
You holding it?
I don't know. It's kind of what the board wants to do.
Well, I haven't taken any action yet. I'm just trying to keep a note here.
Okay, so can somebody make a motion? I think that we've discussed what we can here. If we are uncomfortable with approving some kind of method like Abby and Val have just described, then maybe we need to hold it over for some revisions, but I will entertain whatever anyone has to offer at this point.
Mr. Chair, I'll try
Yes.
to make a motion.
Go ahead.
I don't think we should hold Doug up because we are not prepared with any sort of solution that we've come up with yet.
Okay.
So I would propose that we approve this with Doug making the decision and through staff to somehow mitigate the verticality of the skirt boards and also separating them as you guys suggested prior.
Mhm.
That's my motion.
Okay. So Val, are you in favor of your motion?
I am.
All right. Let's see. Diane, what do you think about Val's motion?
Well, I think it's a solution. But he's gonna get the house built, so I think it's probably the best solution that we have at the moment.
So you're in favor then, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Abby,
Yes, I'm in favor of this particular solution at this time for this particular application.
very good, thank you. And John,
Yes,
okay?
I'm sorry.
You okay with the motion?
No, I have a question before we do.
Okay, go ahead.
The, let me see, staff update on new checklist. That's what's gonna happen in the future. How many applications do we have actually in shop now waiting to be worked on, do you know?
Can we act on this application, Mr. Chairman?
I'm sorry?
You can, but hey, John, I'm gonna hold that question for other business, okay? And Kathy and or Holly can answer that for you. So right at the moment, I just want to know if you're okay with the idea of raising up the house on 8 Hulbert Avenue by 1 foot.
All right, but I mean, do you have, how many, are there 20 applications or 50?
Well, coming down the road, you mean? And the answer is, I don't know yet, but let's get Doug taken care of here. So I'm just simply put, are you in favor or opposed to Doug raising his house up an additional foot?
On Hubbard Avenue?
Hulbert Avenue, yeah, 8 Hulbert Avenue.
Yeah, well, you know, we passed everything else in the last 50 years, might as well pass that.
Okay, all right.
I have a comment to TJ, is he still there?
TJ?
I'm here, John.
Yeah.
TJ. Where is he? Oh. There we go. TJ, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at you now.
Yeah.
Are you home?
No, I'm in Iceland.
Northern
It's a
Lights.
little bit cold here.
Hey, I'm gonna rein it in. I'm gonna rein it in here.
All right, I
Because-
just want to ask him a question.
Oh, well,
The
hold the
psychedelic
question,
behind you, is that the
John.
TV?
No, it's a computer gag. It's just a bit of a
Wow.
a background thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thanks. So I think I got everybody and the chair is in favor of, so the motion carries unanimously. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Okay,
Thank you all.
now listen, I don't know whether my wife is on the line.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, no. I just submitted her, so.
Okay, so I obviously need to recuse. So Diane, can you chair this one, please?
Yep.
Thank you very
Yep.
much.
Oh, there's Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Stand by. Oh, there she is.
Lisa.
Hear me?
Yes.
Yes, now I can hear you. Can you tell us what you've done?
Well, this was the one on Cliff Road. There were some window revisions that are clearly circled. And when we came in for the approval the first time, that's not it.
No, hang on. Oh, here we go.
We had asked for roof walk, and there was some concern of having the roof walk, and I had suggested that we would come back after the building is framed, and it is. And did you get my photos, Kathy, that I?
Yes, they're down below here.
Yeah, I mean, these aren't great pictures, but I did want to show this is from the Nantucket Road. This is actually from, I think I'm in Sanford Farm, like coming back from the run, that you don't see a lot of the first floor of the house. So I think the height of the house was the concern. And so because of the vegetation and topography, at least from the Nantucket Road, you're not seeing a lot of that, of the first floor of the house. And the roof walk deck is actually framed on there by accident because the builder didn't realize that he wasn't supposed to frame it. So you can sort of see the beginnings of the roof walk and how it would present itself.
Okay. I'll just ask a question. Is that a 2-story house?
It is it's a gambrel, so it's got a 1-story eave line, but it's a 2-story house.
Kathy, can I see the site plan, please?
Yeah.
Hi, Abby.
Hi.
Sorry. Oh, hello. Sorry.
Kathy?
Yeah, I'm just looking for it here. Hang on, what's going on?
I went to view this today, and it's not the view from the Nantucket Road that's my concern. It's the view from Cliff Road, and I did take some pictures, but I don't know how to get them.
You'd have to email them to Kathy probably.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I agree that, you know, from Cliff Road, you do see the building. There's no question. I guess my thought is at such a distance, and does a roof walk really make that much of an impact?
The house looks huge, but maybe it's just because of the new wood versus the buildings that are there.
Yeah, I'm having the same reaction that Val. I'm seeing this house from Cliff Road. It's the one that's on the corner, right? Nantucket Road and Cliff.
Yeah, yeah, essentially almost the corner, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm cutting in. Was somebody else talking?
It's okay, it was me. Go.
No, just go and talk.
I think I had a reaction against this building when I was coming down Cliff Road and I looked across, is it Maxipon?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
I think the roof walk is going to accentuate its height even more. Is that what you're here before us for, Lisa?
Well, there's a couple of, there's fenestration revisions, but the roof walk was a big part of it because we had taken the approval without it previously because there was concern
Right,
about.
okay.
And it's white, right?
No, it's gray.
Oh, good. Thank God.
And we could do the roof walk as natural, if that helped. I think I was just thinking from Maxie's Pond Road or from the Cliff Road side, it's at such a distance. You know, you're looking at.
So visible. It's I hadn't thought about that. I was thinking more from the Nantucket Road when I was so surprised to see that. I think we're gonna have to do some vegetation or something on both sides actually, but sorry, I just wanted to first confirm that I was talking about the right site.
Okay, Johnny?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, what do you think about the house?
Tonight, I think it'll work out. I'm the slow one, you know, and I don't like to tie things up like that, but I'm a personalized person. I think it went pretty well. I think there might be a clog in it, 2 clogs in it, you know, till we get back to Tuesday night is one. And the other one is the process of each one speaking, you know. I think that might be ironed out a little bit more in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering what you thought about the roof walk on the house on Nantucket Road, the corner of Nantucket and Cliff Road. That's Lisa's application. What did you think about it?
What street is it on, the Nantucket?
It's right at the corner of where Nantucket Road and Cliff Road join. It belonged to the insurance guy.
Well, it's actually not the corner because the corner farther down was the Brats past this.
Yeah. Well, close. It's close to the corner. Yes.
I'll tell you, you know, as far as roof walks, you know, it might be a very high building right now compared to the buildings around it. Yes, you're going to jack your visual sight up higher, but how can you turn it down if it is a normal roof walk? You know, it's
well, John, there's only 3 on Cliff Road on that end.
Yeah, I know it, but is that, looking at the picture, that little thing going across the roof, what is that?
Yeah, that's the roof walk framing, but so obviously the base of it, but you would need the railing above that. But that is the framing. of the deck.
Diane, I'd have to go out
Yes.
and look at the area again.
Can you see the
All
picture
right.
on the screen?
One moment, I'm trying to send them all. I can't send them together because you texted them to me on my phone.
Oh,
Just give me a minute, Val.
Is this, Val, are you taking this with a blow up lens, or where are you
I
standing?
did, but there are 3 other pictures, one from the street, you know, I just.
Yeah, I
um,
didn't send them individually.
You can see it from farther right on Cliff Road and farther
Yeah, no, I
away.
remember seeing it across, but at a much greater distance.
So is
That's it?
Jesse here?
No, I don't know.
We have to have one more who's available.
It was there.
I believe I'm on this, and I am listening along and following along with what everybody's saying. I tend to agree with Abby Camp in that I've driven by this project a couple of times and consider it to be somewhat on a hill and, you know, of prominent presence. But it has a few things going for it in this proposal. It's not white, and the trim is not white. The platform is low key now that I see it framed, such that the roof pitch that it's mounted on is the low gambrel, like probably a 6 pitch, and it doesn't reveal a lot of skirt, which goes a long way for me in saying this is possibly acceptable, appropriate. But I think I'd like to go and view it again, if that's okay as well.
All right, well, can I have a motion to hold for a view?
So moved.
Okay,
All right.
could I just ask when you guys view it? I mean, I think one thing to keep in mind is when you look at this elevation from, well, what's up there now is I can't even read, south elevation. It won't poke up much higher than the chimneys. I mean, if that
Yeah,
helps.
but I think it might read as a whole mass.
That's
So-
the issue, and it looks huge from both roads. But, you know, it could be because it's new wood. I don't know. It just seems big.
I think it's gonna hug the ground better without the roof walk, Lisa. Personally, I think
On one
just
other,
joins the 2 chimneys together and makes a new mass.
Right. It's my opinion. I feel that it's too big. It makes the house too tall in that particular location. It makes a mass on the roof that makes the whole place look really heavy. So
If you guys are gonna view it, maybe we'll mock up something, put some strapping around the top.
that would be great, Lisa.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
May I
and
have
Okay.
a motion to hold for a view?
Motion to hold for a view again.
All righty, and
with some mock-up or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when will you do the view?
This weekend, I guess, right?
Okay.
Yep.
The strapping, so by Friday. And do we have to call anything in, or is it? I don't know what the process
I
is.
don't either. That's a Kathy question.
If you want to let me know, and I can just tell them when I send out the back on Friday.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, fab.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
with
you,
that in
Lisa.
mind, Kath, when do people have to have applications in?
Well, I'm
whenever.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of them in right now, so I just I'm trying to get them on as soon as I can.
Okay.
I don't have a lot waiting.
Okay.
I think it might be a combination of an old and new business.
Okay.
Try to get them in and get them out.
No, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I think for the time being, a mixture of old and new is probably the easiest to get people done.
Caught up. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
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 Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Is your husband, there he is.
Here
Yes.
I am. Okay. So we are now on to the final other business portion of our segment. So the first thing is, can we approve some minutes? And what I'm going to suggest is that it's the regular board that votes, and then I can just poll you each. I should be following this protocol just so that it's official. So can somebody make a motion for me to approve the minutes of March 10th and April 21st?
So move.
Thank you, Diane. Diane, are you in favor of your motion?
Yes.
Thank you. Abby,
Yes.
John?
Was I, both of those meetings?
No, this is a motion to approve the minutes of March
minutes.
10th and April 21st. Are you okay with that?
Was I on it? I missed one.
Well, no, it's just, we're just approving minutes, John. So yeah, you're a
Okay.
regular member. so-
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Diane, no, I died, Diane. Val
Yes.
and myself. I think that was it, right? Did I forget anyone?
Right.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Other business. So we have another business item here. Next HEC meeting is Monday, May 11th. That's next Monday, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's just putting it out there, right?
Yeah, I just thought it might be good because we're meeting different days.
Oh, yeah. No,
Then
I'm with you.
Tuesdays to get-
That everybody's clear that it's Monday.
Yeah,
as opposed to
yeah.
Tuesday.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, please,
On
Steve.
that, I'm probably wrong, but I recollected that we had a couple of meetings on Mondays and then we were back to Tuesdays. When are we back to Tuesdays?
The 19th and the 26th for now, for May. Don't know what's gonna happen in June yet. We'll find out if we're still gonna be meeting on this format. But right now it's the Monday, the 11th, and then Tuesday, the 19th, and Tuesday, the 26th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so now we have a staff update on new checklists.
Yes, I put on the website some scope of work checklists for color changes, fences and gates, sheds, some of the things that come into the office a lot. A few of them, I can go on the website. I also I developed an old business checklist and a staff approval checklist.
Great.
Applicants are missing a lot of information, and everything has to be scanned. And I also provided a new document for sign checklists. I basically took the language from the back of the application, which is where the checklist is, and added some more information on and attached links to the sign book. I'm having all the applicants sign saying that everything on the checklist is there. I have an HVAC checklist that has the link to your guidelines. I have I have a roof checklist that has a link to the roof approvable colors, so that they're easy to find.
I think we just need to probably just look through them because I did try, but there was a lot. And thank you for doing that.
Yeah, there'll be more to come. I just I had
Put it
time.
off till
Yeah, sure.
everybody looks.
Yeah, I took a look through, Kathy. First of all, thank you very much. I know it's a kind of a both Herculean and well,
And thank you.
but in any event, I think I do have some comments I would like to suggest, as opposed to reliving a similarity of the last couple hours, that maybe Val and I were looking at checklists for a while and working on some things with Kathy, that maybe we could fine tooth comb them and kind of come back. They're little minor things, just to give you an order, kind of an order of magnitude of things that we like to see. Like, for instance, noting on this checklist that the site plans would be at between a 1 inch equals 20 feet or a 1 inch equals 60 feet range. Things along that order of thought that I think it would be helpful if we sat down, maybe we did a little Zoom for a half an hour. We could kind of get things fine-tuned towards how we process information as commissioners. But that I want to say that and offer that, and I but I want to underscore, thank you for picking up the ball and running with us.
Absolutely. And I hope that once this is finessed and you're really close, that whoever is intaking applications uses the checklist too, because
Right.
getting to the meeting without a site plan is kind of hard.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Kathy?
good work, Kath.
Thank you.
Kathy,
Yes.
good job. Right on the ball. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I second that. So this is I believe this would fall under the category of take no action at the moment, correct?
Sure.
Yeah, for right now, but I think Steve and I can get with Kathy and sort of
Well, I
walk
love that
through
idea.
them and.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because they are posted on the website. So I think, Val, if I might offer, we would want to jump on it sooner rather than later in order to help Kathy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you for the update.
You're welcome.
Now, the final order of business is the mission statement, which has been on for a while. Thank you, Stephen. This mission statement, for those of you that don't know, is courtesy of Stephen. And we have a draft. Hopefully you all had you have a copy of the draft mission statement, which I think basically I read through it and I have really my own super minor comments. But for those of you that read it, do we have anything that we want to adjust on this before we approve it?
So, Mr. Chairman, if I just very briefly comment, so what I did is I introduced what the historic landmark is, its constituent parts, what the HDC is and how it interacts with the public and some of the requirements, and provided a couple of links to relevant information, including the underlying legislation and the guidebook.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
And, it's not to say if we approve this, we can't finesse it later on.
Sure, yeah. However you want to proceed, I'm fine with, just let me know if you want changes.
So Stephen, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the degree of granularity that I was using when I was reading this, looking for fault in it. Okay, so the opening paragraph, the last sentence is comprised of some 30,000 acres, is the largest conventional historic national historic landmark district in the contiguous United States. Now, that means X Hawaii and X Alaska, but I don't think Hawaii or Alaska have they still don't have something that predates Nantucket. So we're allowed to just say the United States, I think.
I think we can take it out just as a matter of semantics. I believe that Alaska has historic landmarks much larger.
Oh, I thought it had to do with when they were established.
Oh, no, this was just the size. That's just one statement with respect
wow,
to the size.
Okay, so then that's really interesting.
Yeah.
But, oh my God.
Alaska's got
the
a couple.
size of it.
Big.
Yeah, I drew from 100 years of resources, including the national landmark paperwork, entries and different historic references. So if we don't want a couple of words in,
actually,
I'll take that as a
I
compliment
like
that you
word
want to
now.
just work one word out.
No, I like the word. I like the word. Referring to the largest historic landmark. That's really fabulous. Boy, no, aside from that, I mean, I got nothing. Do we have anyone else on the board want to sort of opine on this one? Because
I can offer just one comment.
Go.
Where you get down to your bullet points, I think they're all effective, yet the final two bullet points, I think could stand alone in this whole section. as operative of a mission statement, whereas the first 4 bullet points seem more so procedural in how we will enforce and employ the mission statement. So just something to consider is that I believe the last 2 could stand alone and the first 4 could be deleted.
Sure, totally understand that. So what I had done, and I kind of morphed it away from a mission statement to a summary of background and objectives. And that gave some of the teeth to the procedural aspects. There's a couple of different ways we could format it. And I went with trying to, I think, get in the first few bullet points. And then you get kind of, if people get into, people who are willing to read that far will then get into more gritty detail. But the first few bullet points were the broader strokes that are relevant to our day-to-day operations and how people interact with us. So again, I'm open to making changes, however you all want to proceed.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes, please.
Stephen, I love it. Thank you. I think this is great. This is something that is needed. I do have a note that I think you might want to add in there somewhere, is the fact that we do have an active historical commission, because Nantucket is unique in that regards, whereas we don't no other places really in Massachusetts have 2 commissions. You guys work on the day-to-day, everyday applications where they're looking at the long-term preservation planning aspect. So I think that's important to notate maybe the difference. And even if it's just a simple, we work with the historical commission who does this, and then link it to their page, I think that would be sufficient. I think it would be nice to have that. Just my
Well,
opinion.
sort of, Holly, thank you for that. And it would sort of go into the, basically, Stephen has been careful. The last bullet point item says, we're in charge of this. Oh, but by the way, don't think that just because you get this approval from us, that means that you get to run off and do whatever you want. So he's, listed these exclusions and these other organizations that you also, kind of need to check out. So maybe it could fall under that category as being, okay, there's this other entity that's separate from us that has a slightly different charter than we do. And then you're identifying that, number one. And number two, you're saying, well, just so that you don't try and mix the 2 up, we're separate things.
Yeah, I could add a sentence to the effect of that the Nantucket Historical Commission is the HDC's counterpart. They address archaeological planning and specific projects, things along that line, a brief sentence.
Perfect.
That's a good idea.
That's a
good idea,
Holly.
I like it.
And our public outreach coordinator for the town is fantastic, as you've probably been keeping up with the town's website with the COVID-19 stuff. She's fantastic, so she'll be able to link the 2. You don't even have to do anything when we get it on there. She'll do it all.
Great.
Yeah.
We love her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She is.
So just to move it along, I would suggest that if we want to approve it, subject to adding that sentence, and I will do that.
I'm okay with that. To TJ's point, I understand that and it's interesting. It does, they're slightly different. The first 4 and the last 2 are different in their content and meaning, but I think, it kind of just conveys the whole thing. It's all there. I think it's all worth saying. So I wouldn't strike that stuff necessarily. So I'm okay with just adding the simple sentence that Holly recommended. Any other ideas, thoughts on this one?
Nope.
Otherwise, is this something we vote on?
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
You want to vote it through with the stipulation that we just add some language about the commission?
Yes, I'd make that motion.
Okay, very good.
Through staff?
Through staff.
Through staff. Thank you. Okay.
Which one? Through our awesome staff.
Val, are you in favor of your motion?
Yes.
All right. Do we, Abby, do we still have you? I don't see you on the screen.
Yeah, I'm just very quiet. I'm right here.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I love it.
Great. John, are you still with us?
No, he left.
John and Diane are gone.
Oh, Diane left too?
Yeah, she's
I saw her.
she's
before we
on
drove off.
mute.
Okay, so let's see. Stephen.
Diane's back.
Oh, okay. Diane's back. Diane, did you catch the whole thing about the mission statement? I don't see you there. Hold on.
She's on mute.
Oh,
Yeah,
There we are.
it says I have been unmuted by host. I don't know why it keeps flipping around. It drives me crazy.
so Diane, were you
Now
able
I
to
don't
catch-
hear anybody.
Were you able to catch the discussion, Diane?
Yes.
And so are you okay with the idea of
Yes,
floating this
yes, I
mission
would.
statement, just adding a little bit of language to it?
Yeah,
Wave if you yet agree.
I agree. Wave,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she's black.
Wave.
I don't see her anymore.
I can hear her.
I see you. Here I am.
I can see your eyebrows.
Okay, so listen, we got Abby in, we have Val in. TJ, are you still out there?
Yeah, I'll vote an aye on it.
All right, I like it. Thank you. And Diane, there's Diane. Hey, Diane, while we still have you.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah?
Yes.
I
Okay,
heard a yes.
are you in favor of having the mission statement floated with just a little additional language?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
fantastic. And the chair's in favor. That's a unanimous yes.
Hallelujah.
Right, okay. Hey, guys, thank you for sticking it out. This is not easy, I understand. But we actually made some headway tonight. I'm really happy about all that. I'm sure our applicants are.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to put a requisition in for a social distancing table next to John McLaughlin, and I'll have to be at his house
Oh, no. Okay.
for the
If
meetings.
you need any funding for that, talk to me.
Go
Wear a
fund me,
mask,
go fund me.
I will raise you as much cash as you require to do that. Okay. So,
Hey, guys, Jesse here. I was reading my
hello,
son-
Jesse.
Oh,
Yep. I've been here listening
Hi,
in.
Darius.
Oh,
I was reading my son a book.
oh,
I see you were on
Good
mute.
night, Moon. Good night, HDC.
HCC, motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes,
just go on record and state that we do not have any public comment on YouTube.
Oh,
discuss.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not sure whether I should be happy or sad about that. You know, does anybody care about us out there? I don't know.
Well, we had the applicant for Richmond that was just asking us how to get in touch with Kathy in the morning. That was it. So that was taken care of by our lovely NCTV folks.
Yeah.
We're good.
Cool.
I think I'm gonna hire a couple of people just to send in good comments about us. Like, we're watching you and it's fantastic. All right.
Also, it's Preservation Month. It's
what?
Preservation Month.
Oh, yeah.
May, National Preservation Month. So keep an eye out for anything from the National Trust.
Cool.
If I see anything that I think that you all would probably like, I'll send it your way.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Holly.
All right.
Thanks, Kath.
Hey.
Yeah,
Thanks,
but-
Holly. Motion to
Thanks,
adjourn.
everybody.
wait, roll call vote.
Oh my
Yep.
God, you're killing me.
Roll call for the motion, right, Kathy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Stephen has made the motion. Stephen, are you in favor of your motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Val, are you in favor of Stephen's motion?
Most definitely.
Abby, are you in favor of Stephen's
Yes,
motion?
please.
Who else do we have on there?
Aye.
Diane, are
Jesse.
you still with us? Oh, Jesse, are you in favor of Stephen's motion?
Aye.
All right, and then the
Did you
chair.
get TJ?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm in favor too.
we can all be in favor.
Okay?
All right, thank you, Diane.
See y'all next week.
Yeah, see, it was
Thank you.
nice seeing all of you. Take care.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Night, everybody.
Night,
Right.
night.
Andrew? Are you there? Andrew?
I think we left you.
Yes, I am here. I am here. Good
I want
night.
to ask you a question real quickly after we adjourn
Okay,
here.
let me
After we,
just, yeah, let me end the live stream real quick.
okay.